from me. I can't see you drown. 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 Whoa. Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon in disguise. I learned to love the cage you keep me in, but the walls keep closing in, and I don't wanna die. But your poison feels so right. Why do I want you when you're bad for me? My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. It's a toxic addiction. You're a guilty affliction. Yeah. I can't breathe. I need to get some air, but it's a toxic addiction. You're a guilty affliction. Yeah. You can't breathe and you just need some air. Yeah. Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon in disguise. I learned to love the cage you keep me in, but the walls keep closing in, and I don't wanna die. But your poison feels so right. Why do I want you when you're bad for me? My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe.
All right, all right. all right. Peace, power, and profit, right? As we say constantly, right? Peace, power, and profit. We definitely can say we know the world would definitely love a little peace right now, right? Or the ideal of what that will be like, barring that we don't have conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which definitely is the talking point of today, beyond that of the markets that we typically talk about. There's a lot of things surrounding the possibility of, you know, causing the market some major turmoil, right? We witnessed pretty much, again, the back end of 2020, most of 2021, where the market seemed like, there were Teflon done, nothing can bring it down, nothing can take it off its square. The ideal that the pump was strong, the Fed put was in place, infinite amounts of Fed, liquidity, that they were just printing money, endless quantitative easing, reverse repo operations, bond purchases, mortgage-backed lending loans purchased. I mean, it was just a free-for-all party of endless money being thrown around to asset owners. Key value in that, asset owners. You had to be, an asset owner to have benefited, though, right? Because other people who do not own assets, they really didn't benefit. And now that that party is coming to an end, and all the people who are on the outside looking in through the window, watching everybody just, have this, larger than life soiree, so to speak, right? Partying, endless drinks, top of the line cuisine, etc., etc. Now they're like, okay, where's our, admission? When do we have a chance to, have such an opportunity, such a party? Well, we all know that will never come into fruition, given the state of the global commerce markets and how it protects those who are obviously, gainfully investing in it. So, in midst of dealing with all the other issues and inflation, and again, job scenarios are not necessarily that strong as they say it is. They make blanket statements like the consumer is still spending money, in a ravenous fashion. But I say a lot of people just front running inflation. They're stocking up on goods right now for their, a cold summer potentially. So a lot of the data is misleading, right? It's very misleading. But we know that the Federal Reserve pretty much get all of their data from lagging indicators, right? Lagging data points, right? Lagging dot plots, et cetera, et cetera. The same would be said for Washington, even though they know they have real-time information, but they like to play dumb, right? It's the ultimate game of, benign neglect, right? They have a patent on benign neglect. Governments have a patent on benign neglect, and they will get away with it long as they can, long as people are not necessarily asking the right questions, pushing the right buttons. Again, really holding these people feet to the fire. So the collective effort of the citizens, literally globally, not even America, but globally, have to start realizing now that the power of the oligarchs have now exceeded their expectations. So if you ever had a conspiratorial value of thinking that there's an Illuminati out there or whatever, right? Now is your chance to raise your hand and voice your opinion, because we're realizing now, above all things, that people who have vested interest to control certain aspects of your economy, your consumer habits, of course, they're not willing to just be stuck holding the bag when they can pass that bag on to you after benefiting off making money off of you. Right? It's a parasitic to host kind of relationship. We all know that to be true. And that's why we employ people to take the idea or the initiative to realize that you need multiple streams of income to be able to survive such a world going forward. They're stress testing your pockets every day. Every day they stress test your pockets. And the more you act delusional, act like these things don't exist, that the world is just, again, pink unicorns, and that's, again, you're going to get crushed. It's time for people to really wise up, mature up, again, source up, get serious about realizing, how they can protect themselves, their household, put a financial moat around their situation, right? A financial moat around their situation. Like your castle has to be in the middle, all your hopes, your dreams, your values, your goals, your entrepreneurship. And around that home has to be a big, wide, ravine or lake or river surrounding it with alligators, barbed wire, 50 cal machine guns, the whole nine, to protect that. Why? Because you can't depend on the system as we know it to be other people to protect your situation. You have to be, again, independent in the nature of being able to go get it, but also sharing the wealth of that with others so they can benefit from it too. You have to be responsible, is my point, right? No matter where you are, you have to be responsible in the midst of that and not playing the game of I didn't know, right? That the whole ideology behind, blissfully ignorant, that playbook has been thrown out the window. You no longer can people use the blissfully ignorant rule book any longer. In the age of information, in the age where you're seeing other people around you, get into the bag, get into the information, get into knowledge, you can't play that role of I didn't know, that memo missed my desk or whatever, right? You can't play that role any longer. Why? Because markets don't care about, your lack thereof, right? It doesn't have a, free fall, policy, essentially, for those who are late or refuse to learn or refuse to accept that money attracts money. Growth attracts growth. You have to be in positions, fertile places where there's infinite growth, infinite access to resources, be it cash, be it commodities, be it whatever. But you got to put yourself in those environments. Without that, you're not going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be able to keep up. They're going to run over your back with train tracks, up and down, right? So at some point, it has to matter. At some point, you got to take these things serious. At some point, you got to start surrounding your circle. Obviously, surround yourself around proper circles who are moving in that aspect. You're going to have to realize that that it doesn't get better just because you feel in your mind it should be better. You have to will it to be better. You have to study. You have to, focus your interest level into things that are not trivial so much and things that are very, again, giving in nature in terms of putting you in the right track to benefit off those. And that's what we stress more than anything over here, especially within this, this community, right? Our little, ecosystem of, looking for, opportunity every day. This is not just strictly only stocks and stocks only. We speak to the entrepreneurs, period. Because a lot of this stuff is what? It's transitory, right? That's the only part of this that's transitory, right? Entrepreneurship is transitory for people who have a like-minded interest. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that, right? So again, we appreciate everybody who takes the approach, again, who are, who are patient, who are open-minded, who are not stubborn to the reality of change. You guys, will be the future. You will be in a position where you'll have, again, endless protection because you'll know how to go out and provide that protection more so than waiting on somebody else to do it for you. At least that what you can control. So I'm speaking to, those people today, right? Because it needs to be said. A lot of us will get into, into our own little heads and off in the la land, and we think everything just has to be what we, it should be from our perspective. And sometimes it could be true. Other times it could waver, right? We know the life comes with variables. It's like an onion. You're peeling it back every day, right? Another layer, another layer. You're revealing, a lot of things are being revealed when that's happening, right? So again, it'll be remiss of me if I didn't tell you, we all have a starting point, right? No one just wakes up and has all this, uh, you know, all this kind of aspect of information or this understanding, right? You have to, again, work towards it. And so work ethic is tantamount to survival. I repeat, work ethic is tantamount to that of what? Survival. Because you cannot depend on, uh, singularity values of looking at life. You have to be very plural in your nature. You have to be able to expand. You have to be able to attract, right? You have to have good energy. You have to have, vibes, right? You want me to say, right? Vibes, right? From a Caribbean family, right? The vibes. You got to make sure you have proper vibes because that's only going to, attract other people, like-minded people around you so you can think tank together. That's just the fact. You're not going to be able, again, to survive going forward just doing the bare minimum. You're not, right? They're going to price you out, right? They're going to choke you out, right? They're going to annex you away from a lot of the things that you think that are universal or should be universally, free for everybody or given. That's not how, again, oligarchs, that's not how they do business. That's not how this stuff works. It is not how things work. So we like to be a voice of reason. We like to be, again, a pillar of, consistency, right? Standing on our square, not wavering. We only waver when the data all that forces us to, but outside of that, there's core things that we definitely take, we take a stand on. And that, I mean, the basis of that is just what we do, right? We are very entrepreneur minded. We're opportunistic people. We want us to keep pushing the boundaries to open up that the Pandora's box of benefits. So again, just being in the right places at the right time, it matters. Seeking those places out, it matters. Again, building out a proper circle, it matters. And that's what we want to discuss. Again, amongst many other things here dealing with this market today. Again, there's no secret what's going on there, right? I mean, you guys are, who follow this stuff, it's raining out there right now, right? It's raining. It is raining. And, for what it's worth, of course, the market has to do what it has to do, right? It's going to do what it has to do to save face. Why? Because it itself knows that the party is coming to an end. It realizes that, at least for some point, you're going to have to start becoming more of a scholar, if you will, of this industry, of this craft. It's no longer throwing a dart at the board, seeing what sticks, just land on the stock, buy it. That day is over with, right? And that's a good thing. Why? Because what have we been studying for? What have we been planning for? What have we been prepping for? What have we been doing countless videos for? And seriously, if you're not retaining, then again, take a step back, do some yoga, some breathing exercises, do something. Realize that again, you have everything you need. You just have to be patient with your situation, because when you get in rush mode, you're gonna miss stuff. And anybody that has a too much sense of urgency with no direction, you're gonna miss a lot of things. You're gonna spend a lot of unnecessary energy, and that's not again, it's just not efficient to move like that. So again, we just want to make sure, when we're putting out information, we're trying to cover every angle, every basis, to make sure that all of us are on code, as one would say, because we don't want to get stuck holding unnecessary bags. And again, if you're a person who is who've yet to even embark on learning how to use equity markets at your advantage, the very nature that you hear that says that you obviously have the interest. But number two, look, there's no pressure on you in terms of timing, right? You may say, well, the market's coming down now from what I've been saying, and yeah, good thing I'm not in the market right now. Well, that may be true to an extent if you look at it from a place of, well, I only was taught that I can just go long the market. So if the market's coming down, why would I want to go long? It's coming down. Well, there's more ways you can make money, right? There's the universal hedge, right? There's the value of looking for discount buys. There's stocks that now that are oversold, completely oversold, or they were in oversold territory for the longest while other stocks were benefiting. Now they're getting their ticket punch, and they're starting to go up even when other stocks or the broader market is coming down. See how that works? There's always ebb and flows to markets, right? I mean, you would have something beyond catastrophic has to happen for everything to start plummeting at the same time, right? Because there's always somebody out there searching for alpha, searching for yield, or an opportunity that's attractive for some buyer. It's just our job, our duty to be able to sniff those things out when we're able to, right? So again, that's the basis of today. So we're gonna look at a few things in the market here in real time. We know the elephant in the room as of today is the Russian-Ukraine situation. Of course, we're we've been following it much as we can, because everybody got a mixed review of what's really happening, what's not going to happen, if it's going to happen, et cetera, right? There's a lot of mixed reviews when it comes to that. Ultimately, the only person who knows when it's going to happen is the person who's going to fire the first bullet or the first mortar round or whatever. Essentially, that's how this war works. All this new telegraphic, reveal your hand ahead of time that the American diplomats are trying to force Russia to do. This is the most comical thing I've ever seen ever. It's like they're upset because these people ain't gonna tell them if they are going to go to war. Of course, we're not advocating it, but we're just speaking from a place of reality and maturity here, right? Like, who tells a person when they're gonna go to war, right? Like I'm gonna give you a date, a time, pack some lunch, a couple sandwiches, and we'll be there. Like, no, that's not how this stuff works. So that's the audacity of America that takes the approach that it has to be I don't know. It's weird watching it happen, but again, for the most part, we know what's really going on within those conversations, that they're just trying to protect the equity markets. They're trying to protect a lot of stuff, and that's fine, right? Everybody has a vested interest, right? Everybody has a vested interest in something. As odd as it may be to think and take that approach, but that's the whole aspect of when you're running a business, right? America is a business, right? Some people might not want to deal with that, but yeah, it's a business. America is surely a business, and it has to protect its assets, right? Its stakeholders, right? Its pipeline of opportunity, its imports, its exports, the whole reality surrounding commerce. We know the world is one big global commerce marketplace. When you start thinking like an entrepreneur, you already know exactly how that works. You're not confused, and again, thinking all the wrong things once you realize the power within that. You're making executive-based decisions because you realize that's what the world is running off every single day, with or without your consent. It's gonna make its money with or without your consent. It's gonna make its innovate. Things are going to be innovated with or without your consent. Either you take part or you get your portions, or again, you kind of just sit back and watch it all happen, right? Either way, it's going to happen, right? Again, as the saying goes, close to what, 5.7, $5.6 trillion moved around the world daily in global transactions. How much of that are you getting? As the commercial say, what's in your wallet, right? Right? What's in your wallet? Well, I hope at least your digital wallet would be what? These interest accruing assets, at least some aspects of those. And properly, uh, uh, disperse, in a very protective value. Hence, are you, or basically is your your portfolio protected? Are you hedging properly? Do you know how to hedge, right? Do you know how to assess risk, in a way where you're not overly overly exposed or overly leveraged? Again, life is about mitigating risk. If you don't take risks, to heart, well, then everything becomes a free fall. You will just try any and everything. Whatever the consequences are, let it be, I guess, right? Right? Of course, that's not the real world, but people, they'll have you thinking that, they got one life to live and they're just going to go hard every day, all day. Good luck. Right? Good luck. Right? So, again, this is what we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. If you want to be, sustained in this, knowing all the different parts of this is what's going to keep you around. From the psychoanalysis to the technical analysis, to the fundamental analysis. It's all relevant. It is all relevant. Get excited for that, because it's gonna be the key ingredients that's going to keep you here for years and years and years and years. You will have a skill set that will follow you literally to the grave, and no one can take it from you. No one can separate you from it too. And no one can ban you or, firewall or blockade you away from the opportunity in itself. No matter how they may screen you in other aspects of your life, none of that stuff matters over here. It's equal opportunistic environment over here. You got skills, you got, work ethic, right? You can you can grind. You can do this anywhere around the world. As long as you got Wi-Fi, signal, Ethernet connection, broadband, whatever, cell phone, laptop, computer, tablet, some knowledge, right? Some knowledge, some knowledge, and some capital. You can grind. You can grind. So we give a salute to everybody who are out there, who are risk takers in the proper way. All you entrepreneurs out there, we salute you all on this day, because we realize, again, while a lot of people may be scrambling and trying to figure out how they're going to deal with all this inflation and, this, that, and the third, you're like, okay, I'm prepared. Why? Because I have a skill set where I can buffer some of that. I'm not waiting on a Biden check or, Mitch McConnell check or whatever, right? You're not waiting on those, those things and those things alone, right? You have skin in the game. You have knowledge that prepares you and protects you. So that's what's important today. So shout out to you all, right? Shout out to people who collect in bags as opposed to bag holding. If you have no interest accruing assets in or around your existence, by the very nature of that, you're actually bag holding. Why? Because cost of living is going up every year and inflation is kicking everybody in the teeth right now. And if your wages are not growing along with the price of inflation rising, then you are definitely in the red. And you, by very nature, that you stuck holding the bag. You like everybody else, you're holding the bag, who is not necessarily, don't have other multiple streams of income that they can feed off of in the case things get real. You bag holding, right? You bag holding. The degree on the wall ain't enough, right? The couple little, fraternity sororities you in ain't enough. Of course, you might, chill on person couch and get bad time, right? But ultimately, you need to have ways where you can protect yourself is the point. So that's why it's important to realize it. Multiple streams matter. Multiple streams do matter, right? So, as of now, again, we're just watching the market go through the withdrawals of trying to maintain. It's all over the place. It's searching for, to save face. It's our goal is, again, doing what they can. The pump protection team is in place. The dark pool, extension of the market is being bought up religiously because they're trying to what? Not allow the bleeding to be that much bad, bad as it necessarily could be at this point. It's a game of protection. Putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off through the different intervals of the market during different time frames, whatever they can to slow the process of the market pulling back. Again, in moments like this, let's say when the market would, somewhat operating under some kind of form of reality, we already know the markets will be down about 2-3% right now. But we know we're in different times now because there's a $6 trillion moat surrounding the stock markets in terms of Federal Reserve liquidity that's baked into all this market. From endless pumping, printing money into the stock market. And it's just sitting up here like, okay, yeah, we're protected. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're an equity holder. The reality of that is that at some point that's going to come to an end, or at least it should be. And then organic growth has a place in this. However, whenever that does happen, just best be prepared that you'll be prepared for it. Right? If you thought you missed the dip back in March of 2020, there'll be more times you could buy the market at cheaper prices. That's the whole point of this, right? Discount shopping, right? Buy low, sell high, right? That's how it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be that way, right? It's supposed to be. But nonetheless, we're prepared one way or the other. All right, that's what we study for. That's what we train for, right? It's the whole point of this. So yeah, we got some some things to deal with. We got Russia on the table, Ukraine on the table, Wall Street in their feelings, right? They feeling like Wall Street feeling like they're the player haters ball, right? They out there telling everybody that's that's trying to hedge their portfolio or thinking like they taking a more of a risk off approach. Wall Street mad, looking at them like, I hate y'all, right? I hate you. You're supposed to be buying the dip right now. You're supposed to be going all in. Forget all that. War ain't nothing, dude. Right? We built for this, right? Yeah, Wall Street in their feelings right now. Right? They're definitely in their feelings right now. Right? But that's typical, right? Greed begets greed. Right? They want you to jump out there and get ahead of yourself, or just accept the value that they think they know better for your situation than reality what you're dealing with. Like, no, they ain't nobody jumping out there riding, coming out there on the motorcycle like this right here. It ain't happening, right? We ain't jumping out there like that, there, bro. We're not finna get ahead of the skis at this point. It's just not gonna happen, right? So again, be patient, as we like to say a lot. It matters. It definitely matters. Right, it's definitely going to benefit you in the long run, right? So shout out to everybody in the back. So you got some family coming in on the YouTube side of things. Again, I know we up kind of early doing our little thing. People in the midst of their grind, they're making moves. They're in the middle of their trades, right? We granted we get that. So we appreciate anybody that's able to come through in the midst of this. Shout out to Oba Brandon, Oba Divine in the building, right? Shout out to our family Be Humble in the house. Right. Shout out to Oba Chris in the building. Shout out to you all who may be watching, listening, somewhat in silent, necessarily can't type. I know you're there and and the positive energy value in this. So we appreciate everybody, of course. And again, it's just us archiving what we're witnessing in real time. At some point we can go back and watch it later, or however, we're just archiving what reason on wax, right? That's the way to look at it, right? We're archiving reason on wax. Right. We're providing at least some kind of value of maybe it be some form of clarity for someone, right? If it just helps one person, that's great, right? That we feel like we job well done, right? So shout out to you all, of course, on this Friday, right? This TGIF, right? TGIF, as they like to say, right? Right. And the market probably feel like that too, because they can't they can't wait to get out of this day. Right? We had a 3-day weekend coming up, guys. 3-day weekend. The markets have to sit through 3 days of anxiety because they just don't know what's going to happen, right? With this whole Russia Ukraine, they've been trying to get ahead of it and front run it, right? They've been trying to bake it into the market. We've been trying to price it into the market, right? Like whatever that is. Yeah, good luck, right? Good luck with that, right? If the market's not feeling it, then they just not feeling it, Ain't nothing you can do about it, right? It's gonna do what it want to do, one way or the other. Excuse me, right? One way or the other. So that's okay, right? It's okay, right? It is definitely okay, right? We know what we have to do. That's all that matters. We know what we have to do. That's what's going to keep us living to fight another day. Right? We'll let these guys, play this role right here. We'll let them, have all the awkward moments as they want. Right? Right? We understand what's going on here. We do. We clearly know what's going on here, and we don't have to air it all over the airways. People know what's up. I think people are a lot smarter than a lot of governments give people credit for, of course, and they think everybody's just shallow and they just go along with anything and like, yeah, whatever. You know what's up. Everybody jockeying for more space and more airways and more publicity and more resources. I guess it's a land grab all over, be it virtual, be it, tangibly. Ain't nothing stopping. Again, you're talking about, just the latest in terms of Russia. Russia has 190,000 troops now at that border. 190,000. That's almost 250,000 troops surrounding the Ukrainian border. Oh, that's a serious, exercise, right? That's a serious military drill and exercise, right? Especially for some of my military family, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? That's a serious FTX mission, right? Or bivouac, right? Like seriously, right? If that's just some, formality stuff, then okay, all right, yeah, okay, about that, right? What's going on, over Al? Seeing the building, peace, power, profit, over Al in the house, right? 190,000 troops. So, yeah, okay, we'll see. The very nature of the threat of it, of course, poses that, yeah, we, it could possibly definitely be more than what it, within what America, American view vantage point is saying. And a lot of that is bad too, because they're actually instigating it, right? Let's be honest. A lot of the media in America is instigating it. They're making it worse than it really is. They really are. I mean, truly. I mean, think about it. That's the nature of how I guess media has turned into morphed into what it is today. There is no more real constructive, educational, civil aspect of journalism any longer on this planet. Those days been gone. The few places where that's at, they're very shielded. They're not given the airways properly, right? You don't have objective media anymore. It's all about, we subjecting you to accept what we putting out there, and that's that. That's the extent of your media today. They're force feeding you what they want, their talking points. And it's easy to regurgitate it and accept it when you have no understanding of what's going on around you yourself. You have no research methodology skills. You just go along with everything. Yeah, bro, the media said it, bro. No, this doctor said this, or this government agency said this. Like, these people have agendas. Like, stop. Learn how to parse straws. Learn not how to, just swallow the Kool-Aid, without even looking in the cup, right? But anyway, right, get off my soapbox, right? Get off my soapbox, right? It's real out there in the fields, one would say. It's real out there in the field, right? And we just want the family to be protected, man. We want you guys to be, protected as much as possible, as much as you possibly can, right? Don't lose focus and don't lose sight of, your place, here on this rock like everybody else's. Right. So that's what we're looking at now. So as the broader market again is going through this flux right now. It's all over the place, like we spoke about. Again, it's trying to save face, right? It's trying to save face. A lot of these assets are just sitting, kind of waiting in limbo. Others are just, dropping it like a hot, right? And others are, again, the market is fighting. It's just trying to save face. That's all I can say. That's about the best way I can put it. It's trying to save face at this point. Right? It's trying to save face. And it's nothing out there, to my knowledge, to kind of really provide any layer of, at least weekend protection, because there's a lot of uncertainty. Like, no one knows what's going to happen. So if you're thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna swing the market into the weekend, or if you're trying to take heavy positions into maybe I don't know, maybe a short-term thesis that you had already in play, but now you can't really fully implement it because of all this tension, then yeah, maybe you have to just accept that. right? Every day it's not a day where you have to feel like you got to go gun ho. You have to be commando, Rambo in the markets every day. Again, sometimes the best, as they say, the best trade sometimes is one not taken, right? Just observe the markets, right? See what's going on. Gauge the sentiment of how people, look at the markets. How big money, is accepting the situation right now. And that's, how you may look at the markets, right? So, you know, it just stands, to reason that this is all what this is good, right? When I'm saying this is good, meaning you're getting all this free press, right? You're getting all this free, you know, the outlook, right, of trying to figure out what warrants such, behavior in markets, right? What do people, or how do people act or react in situations like this, right? Again, it's really good information, much as you probably think it is. It's a great psychoanalysis about, again, uh, different countries, what they stand to benefit or gain or lose in this, right? Just trying to figure out, all the pieces on the chessboard. Essentially, that's what you're doing. You're trying to figure out all the pieces on the chessboard, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because, hey, we realize what's really going on here. It's a game of supplying the bullets and the bandages, right? We talk about that religiously. There's somebody supplying the bullets and the bandages if it goes down. There's going to be somebody that's going to supply both of those, the bullets and the bandages. like couldn't make this stuff up. And of course, you guys know this, but that's just the reality of this stuff. And the markets are like, man, we just want to party, man. Y'all messing up our jig right now. Y'all messing up our hustle. We're supposed to be ripping right now just on the fact that, the world can deal with inflation. The world can deal with higher gas prices and food prices. And we don't care about that. We just want to go up. We just want to buy the market because there ain't nothing else out there. And we don't have no real true sense of reality when it comes to the main street. We just want to do our own thing. And these people living in a bubble. Literally, the markets are in a bubble, right? But regardless, we are gainfully employed in it, but that don't necessarily mean we have to be what? Kool-Aid drinkers, right? We don't have to be the Kool-Aid drinkers. We're here like everybody else. We're opportunistic. We rent, release, we don't own. We don't fall in love. We don't love them. We don't. We ain't trying to save them. We ain't trying to do none of that. If you that kind of person, hey, good luck, right? To each his own, right? To each his own. But from where I sit, no, I'm trying to get a smidgen of what the world has already taken away from me, especially when it comes to, the taxation and everything else that comes along with the economy. And again, these people just talk a good game, but they ain't really doing nothing to really, beef up your situation, right? Like seriously, you better get in the habit of figuring out how to get your own bag, and you better get in the habit of figuring it out real quick, right? Because again, they're gonna price you out before it's over with. The wealth gap is expanding. I mean, this stuff is getting, out of hand. Like seriously, like what are you waiting on? I mean, like you waiting on somebody to show up at your door, like, hey, today is your lucky day, right? We're gonna select you to go blah blah blah. That's not how this stuff works. Right? This is not how this stuff works. All right. So again, it's just indicative that we know that we move properly. We're not again confused about any of this, so we can make again good decisions. So as you see, S&P 500 here is definitely, doing everything it can to kind of, slow its roll throughout the day. We do pretty much have a great understanding that there will be immense selling pressure on the back end of the day. If they don't get no press release between now and let's say 3:30, 3:45, meaning from on the Russia-Ukraine front, yeah, it can probably get darn near really squirrely and slippery on the back end of the day. Like again, who's going to hold this market, from a very Teflon Don perspective into this weekend on a 3-day weekend at that, with that kind of overhanging issue with war surrounding the equity markets. We know markets definitely don't fare well in the beginning when those things happen, kick off. We know there's certain sectors that do, right? Defensive stocks, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, Boaz, Hamilton, all that stuff. Those stocks get the ripping because they're the suppliers of what? The carnage, right? Bandages, like we said, the bullets and the bandages, right? The bullets and the bandages, asset owners, they're going to benefit if this pops off. So you might want to look into those kind of things. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Definitely, we know commodities are going to go through haywire. We're already dealing with inflation as it is, And now this is going to exacerbate and make it worse. So oil, definitely oil in a position where it can, it pulled back. It went up there near the top, 95, 97, pull back, now consolidated around 89, 80 bucks, 90 bucks a barrel. That's just a sweet spot for them to particularly rip it just in case this thing pop off. They couldn't make this stuff up. Right? Could not make this stuff up. Right. So again, nonetheless, we're prepared. Well, I guess I can speak for myself, but a lot of us think and move, under the understanding that we know how to kind of, dissect what's going on in around us on a geopolitical level, right? Monetary level, the whole nine, right? And that's a good thing because at least it shows that we're paying attention. We're actually being, intelligent, in our understanding. We're not just, playing the role of, again, blissfully ignorant, right? Or confused about how we should look at things. Right. We're not playing that role, right? That's not gonna happen. So yeah, so a lot of things are going on. So we're just gonna, do our part. We're gonna try to, be that voice of reason. I'm gonna keep repeating that. We're gonna be that voice of reason much as we can. What's going on, family? Rich B in the building. What's going on, brother Rams in the building? What's going on, brother Matthews, Matthews in the building? We see you in the building. Right. What's going on, everybody? Peace, by and profit to you guys on this Friday. Right. So yeah, let me get the link, guys. Again, I don't have no particular timeline of how long I will not be on. I might end up just, going downtown towards, Howard and, go to my favorite little vegan restaurant and get me a good little meal. It's been a, long week, right? Get me a good little vegan meal from a new vegan cafe down in there, Howard University. And man, that'll be it for me. I just kick back and just, watch the rest of the market maybe on the back end, right? Right. That's pretty much what I got in mind I want to do. Again, we've been very busy throughout this week, trying to, make sense of all this stuff and trade the market and just being all over the place. But, you got to have that R&R, surround your situation too. So again, there's the link, guys. If you want to pop, come through, pop on or hop on, I should say, or pop in the building. You're welcome to. We appreciate you. Right. You might got some perspective. You might want to share what you see, what you're looking at, or any particular stocks, any particular idea. Hey, we love to have you. As we like to say, we welcome in everybody. We're not an echo chamber. We're not trying to silence, anyone. We just want to make sure everybody's, critically thinking through a lot of this stuff and not necessarily jumping out the window. It's our value to protect one another, right? That's the whole ideal of a band of brothers is, right? Right? We're supposed to be a band of brothers then that protect each other, right? All right. And sisters, right? Don't forget the sisters, right? Don't forget the sisters. All right. But definitely you guys get it. So we appreciate you guys again. Especially, if you definitely add a lot of, if you're adding value to the growth of everybody, right? We appreciate you all. All right. So there's the link just in case you guys want to pop on. So, again, I don't have anything outside of that. We're just watching the market. We're just watching to see how this thing unfolds. Right now, because we're definitely coming up in the lunchtime hour of the market. So right now, into the lunch hour, which is typically between 11:15, 11:30, 12, the market typically starts to have what they call buy algos kick in. As of right now, it's not happening, right? Those algos are switched to sell. This is unique, right? Because if you study the market, you understand trend. The market is downtrending here during near lunch hour. When typically before, just when you get that little lunch pump, because it's trying to pad the market. If there's anything that may come out on the back of the day that may benefit the market, spaz and going higher, they'll try to front run it. Now those algos again switch to the sell side. They'll essentially switch to the sell side, and you're seeing this thing come down at around lunch hour. Couldn't make this stuff up. Some people just hitting the door early. Some people start to realize, like, man, look, I'm not going to sit around for 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm going to be the first one out the door. I'm going to sell what I need to sell. I'm just going to sit in cash or whatever. I'll wait till next week. So it becomes a game of what? Music or chairs, right? Which big hedge fund, which big bank, which big institution going to hit the door first? It could be definitely come a domino effect. It could be a deluge waterfall situation. Before you know it, stop loss is being triggered. Bag holders who continuously think they're just going to buy the dip because they don't understand the value of hedging or risk management, mitigation and risk management. They're stuck out there just still buying calls because they think it's a good time to just buy calls. Like, oh, no, buy the dip, bro. Buy some calls. I'm gonna buy me some calls right here. Now, this is the thing of what most people are doing right now who don't understand how this works, right? They got a little couple of dollars of the, finally, the government gave them a couple of dollars, right? Their mom gave them a couple of dollars, right? Whatever. The job, they definitely go buy 0 days to expiration spy calls. Like, no, I'm gonna go buy the dip, bro. Right? Come heck or high water, I'm buying the dip. And they probably gonna get ran over. Well, they are getting ran over right now. Every time they try to buy the dip, if they ain't playing it methodically, meaning, buying the dip and selling it to the rip, if you holding it, you finna go under. Right? Ain't no more, playing the role of little Billy, right? Most of y'all are just trying to play the role of Billy. Yeah, Billy about to get his little head torn off out there. Don't do it, Billy. Don't do it. Right? Wait, Billy. Wait. Right? Don't jump out there. Right? Because it's real out there. It is very real in the field, as one would say. It's real in the field. And it's just 12 o'clock. It's just 12 o'clock. We have 4 more hours. It's going to be grueling and agonizing. The markets are sitting there hoping for a prayer. They waiting to get a tweet from Putin. They hoping to get something from Blinken. They waiting that, again, praying that Levinsky, whatever his name is, the Ukrainian guy, comes up with some kind of diplomatic, and rightfully so. Of course, again, we're on the side that we don't want conflict. Don't get it twisted. We're on that side. But again, no one ever in the history of mankind revealed their hand just to appease the stock market or appease somebody else's, consciousness. Like, oh, I'm just going to tell you what date and time we're going to go to war. Right? Or if we're going to go to war or not going to war. Like, no one does that. Like, where they do that at? Where do they do that at? I not know where I know. Right? If they're coming for you, they're coming for you. Right? Period. Right? So again, don't get caught in that delusion. Don't let these people pump your head up thinking that it got to be this way and that they know. Look, they don't know no more than the next person. That's why they keep putting out all these conflict of interest. What? Media headlines. Oh, it's this, it's that. It's no troops. They pulling back troops, going back to the base. Oh, they added more troops. Oh, they, this happened. The Ukrainian delegates and all this stuff, and it's all over the place, bro. It's all over the place. Right? Again, don't be Billy though. Don't be Billy unless you know what you're doing. Right? Don't be Billy. Right? Right? Again, it's just not in your best interest at this point. Be cautious, be patient, whatever. Right? Do what you need to do to protect your situation. If it's sitting on the sideline just watching all the fireworks happen, not necessarily war fireworks, but just the market go through its moves right now, then that's fine. Right? Don't stress yourself. But look at, get on the couch, get on your favorite little couch, get your little box of Krispy Kreme donuts, right? Have your little laptop somewhere in the corner on your cell phone, and maybe watch you some, some Billy Blanks or something. I don't know, right? Sit on the couch and just chill, eat you some chicken, and maybe watch working out, and while working out your mouth or something. I don't know. Chill, just chill, right? Just chill out. I guarantee you, either way you look at it, the market is definitely going to what? It's going to push one way or the other. It's going to be pushing up or it's going to be pushing down. And as of right now, it's pushing what? To the downside. Right? It's in push mode, right? It's literally in push mode. The market is definitely what they call push notification mode, right? If there ever such a thing, the market is definitely in push notification mode. Right? You get a notification, you get an alerts on your cell phone, and person still like, nah, I'm finna buy the dip. Well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Whatever works for you. That's all I'm gonna say. Whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat, good luck. Right? Good luck. That's about the best, way we can state that, or put it out there in the universe. Good luck. Essentially, good luck. Right now, of course, I got my, got me some traps, working right now. Right, got me some snares out there, working. We've been having a phenomenal week thus far. Again, looking really good up on the week here. What we've been studying for, right? What have we been planning for? We've been planning for this moment. We've been saving this bacon, right? We've been actively engaging it too, of course, but we definitely been saving the bacon for this moment, for these type of moments when the market, obviously just gets out of these tight ranges and gets to opening up, expanding. Well, that's what, that's how you make your money, especially if you're a day trader. Right? You need, expansion. You need pivots to open up. You need peak to trough moments, right? We welcome that. I don't run from. Again, of course, for me, I love, volatility. right? And again, the breaks that the markets have been functioning under because of the Fed for so long. Well, guess what? Now those breaks are coming off, and the market is having to what, sink or swim, stand on its own 2 feet. Well, we realizing that the market may not be built for that, right? They because they got too spoiled, they became too comfortable. And what's going on, Over Sunday in the building? We see you in the building. Peace, power, profit. Over Sunday in the building, or as we like to affectionately know him as a firm assassin, right? You've been trading the mess off of firm lately, right? Tearing them up on them puts, right? Right. So a lot of these stocks, again, just under the radar now, where they don't have that free fall, they don't have that free fall disposition any longer. They have to really sink or swim, right? They're gonna have to make all the right decisions going forward in their business models in order to survive. They would not just be given the benefit of the doubt just because any longer. And that's a good thing. Why? Because if there ever is a scenario where there's any kind of, I don't know, one-off event or a black swan event, all these companies, prepared to deal with that. And if you are a shareholder or you got a share equity stake in this company, you want to know whether or not they're doing right by your money, right? Fiduciary responsibility. Because right now, again, like I say, it is real in the field. It is real in the fields, one would say. Russia, they're doing what they always have done, right? Again, that's just how the world is. There's been conflict. There's been, since the world's been, in existence, right? So we're not, clueless to that. We're not, functioning on the value of delusions when it comes to that, right? But for the most part, again, what we're speaking about today is, properly being hedged, protecting your portfolio, protecting your money. Don't make any unnecessary rash decisions, that could be costly. Again, stick to your game plan. Of course, SPY puts a print today. Of course, that's the whole form, that's a form of hedge, right? Of course, you more of a perma-bull value, then today you realizing that the puts are giving you a good value to hedge, right? So yeah, hint, hint, wink, wink, right? Of course, timing is everything. You don't just jump in the middle of a trade and buy a put just because you seem like it's necessary. You got to have a proper entry, right? Proper entry, and you have a proper exit strategy, right? You got to have a proper entry and a proper exit strategy. So yeah, puts are print today. Fortune, again, it is said, fortune favors the wise. Be the wise person today. Be that wise person that you are, right? Fortune favors the wise. Let Wall Street be in their feelings. They'll be all right. They got enough money they made from 2020, 2021, 2020, 2019, etc. On and on and on, right? We were on what, a 13-year bull market? Look, these jokers got some money. Anybody crying, well, they'll make it seem like they are. They crying, the market down like 0.5%, and not even down 1%. The entire market right now is not even down 1 full percent. And jokers jumping out the window. Like, seriously? Like, these people then got so greedy and entitled minds, especially on the Wall Street side. Yeah, I'm over here for a reason, right? right. But yeah, I'm moving under under some consciousness though. I'm not crazy. I'm not taking the road. Just everything just has to have a happy ending, right? Everything has to have a happy ending. Like what movie is that? Right? What movies are you watching? Everything comes off with a happy ending. Like, no, it's not how the real world works. That is not how the real world works, right? But whatever, right? Whatever floats a person's boat, as one would say. Whatever floats someone's boat, right? So, of course, we're going to sit there and, we're going to do what we need to do. Again, like I said earlier, we're going to do what we need to do, protect ourselves, whatever opportunity that may open up, we're going to be there to expand on it if we can. And we'll let chips fall as they may. Right, we're gonna let those chips fall as they may. Simple as that. No, say no more, no less. Right, no more, no less. Right. So again, shout out to you guys who understand that. Right, who believe in the value in that. Right, inflation ain't going anywhere. It's not gonna get better. Right, overnight. So of course we know we got some very important dates coming up, especially next month. with the FOMC meeting value when they're going to particularly raise rates. We should be done with quantitative ease. Well, not ease, excuse me. Let me repeat that. We should be done with at least the mortgage-backed security bond purchases and the regular treasury note purchases next month. So that 120 billion that was doing every month, that's going bye-bye next month. And we're going to get our first lift off, right? We should get our first rate hike next month. Now, be it a quarter basis point or half a basis point. Some people calling for a shock and awe, do a whole or full point. Whatever these people trying to do, if they're going to try to engineer soft landing, then good luck, right? There's no such thing as that when you just been religiously pumping money like that and causing all kind of carnage to a lot of other people because you just kind of directed towards one aspect of what, one entity, so to speak, in terms of Wall Street, and not necessarily distributing that across to everybody else and really helping the job market, really helping small businesses, really helping mom and pop people. They pretty much sold those guys a bad, a bag of bad, bad goods and or whatever, right? They got sold a bad bill. And now again, it's going to come back to hunt the economy on the back end because they didn't follow through on the promises that they were somewhat, I guess petitioning that they were going to do. It's going to come back and hunt them in the end. That it always does. It always does. Right? You can't hook and book and crook and just think that you get a chance again to just go off into the sunset like everything's okay. Especially when there's other people around you that may know what's going on, right? At some point, it's going to be revealed that, we know exactly what's going on here, right? We know exactly what's going on here, right? We definitely know what's going on here, right? So again, as the market play these little, this little slow methodical drip to the downside today, just buying time. They trying to buy time. All doing market makers, the only thing they're doing right now is just trying to buy time. Right, they're just buying time. These little dip buys, these little, flush optimistic buys that's coming in through the little algos. They're just trying to save the market as much as possible to kill all these options that are out there on the table. I don't know if y'all guys know this or not, but there's $2.2 trillion in options that has to be liquidated today. 2.2 trillion. Now, it's a mixture of calls and puts, granted. However, just imagine how many people are probably going to roll over their positions into next week, knowing that we don't know what's going to happen fall to weekend. Because typically that would happen, right? You have rollovers, people do pushing into the next following week. What's the odds that that's happening this weekend? Or how many of those options are going to get liquidated? Now, most of the calls that were bought yesterday, with that little pump that they tried to push the markets up yesterday, a lot of people already got out those calls, or they got liquidated, or they basically at this point going to zero. If they still sitting in those calls from yesterday, them junks basically at zero at this point. I mean, it don't seem like it's a whole lot, but yeah, we closed at 437.06 yesterday. We're already down to 433, 434 area. A lot of those calls are theta decay eating into them, and the fact that again, the market is pulling back close to 1%. Yeah, a lot of those calls are zero right now. They're sitting at zero. They're dead meat. Right? They're dead men walking. And if you if you're trying to buy the dip or the pivots to try to get some of your money back, right? Then again, you really gonna have to trade the market like a sniper today. You're gonna have to trade like you never trade before, because now you're up against the clock. They're gonna slow drip this thing much as they can. Hit it hard when necessary, be it spiking up or spiking it down. But you definitely know that the market is in a downtrend at this point. Clearly, you can see that the market's in a downtrend. And I asked a very simple question. What's going to turn this market and rip it back up to 437, 438, and potentially even go try to take out 440 today? What would do that? What will be the headline to do that? Right? It's like when you think about it, man, it's only one thing that could do that, right? Obviously, right? Duh. You need something definitive, coming out of Out of Russia. You would need something very definitive coming out of Russia for that to happen. Void of that, this thing going, again, just based upon my experience, my opinion, the market's just going to drip to the downside. trying to, kill premium much as it can. It has to pay out a lot of, in this case, it's going to have to pay out a lot of put buyers. For once, the puts, may get a chance to just really, really dance in the street, possibly, but you're not going to get it easy. I guarantee you that. These little big candles you see right here, these big old bullish and engulfing candles you're seeing like that there, a majority of that is dark pool, right? We're talking about low volume day. That's dark pool, right? A lot of that's dark pool, buying it. We probably go to, matter of fact, let me go to my dark pool scanner here. Let's go over here real quick. Let's go. Let's go take a sneak peek in terms of what's really going on, right? Let's go see what's going on here. I'm almost certain that we know what's going on, of course, but it's all good. It's all good. Right? Because the market got to look good, even though it's not feeling good. Right? Never let them see you sweat, right? It's the saying goes, never let them see you sweat. Right? Yeah, okay, about that, bro, about that. Right? Right, good luck with that, right? Never let them see you sweat, right? So, again, just realizing the extent of that. Hold on, where's my here we go. So again, I'm pretty sure the dark pool is working overtime. It even got, boy, look at, let's go over. Let me show y'all this here. Boy, you got jokers trying to save this market best they can. You got jokers even scrambling to try to put on dark blocks, and they getting ran over so quick they canceling some of their dark blocks. They just trying to save this market, boy, best way they can. Again, they trying. Let me get y'all over so y'all can see this right here. Right, you guys got to see this here. Like you got to see this, right? You got to see this. Show you what's going on over here in as they say, in La La Land, right? All right. Let me pull this up here. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Look at the dark blocks coming in. The last one just came in at 1211. 434, right? Right at the 434 price value. Dark block 69 million. 159,000 share block. 251 at 1148. At 437 value, that clearance in that. I mean, you can just come down and listen to it. 210,000 there at 1130. 435 block. This one here got canceled, right? They just ran over this one here probably. They just blew past their little chance probably. Right? They probably put it up and they took it off real quick because the market probably got drugged at that time frame possibly. Was that 1123? Let me see what was happening here. So right around this point here. Yeah, just plateaued at around, at around that point there, maybe like 435, right? So yeah, these people again, they trying to save it. They try. Look at all these dark blocks coming in today. This is all dark pool. They working overtime day. Typically, you see, it varies throughout the day. It depends on certain days where you don't have certain, a lot of massive dark pool activity. And other days you do. A day like today, oh, they working overtime in the dark pool market. All these banks, hedge funds, that's who buying these dark blocks off the radar, and it's legal, of course. They're just buying the dips off the radar to kind of slow the bleeding of the market. They're putting them on and taking them off, putting them on and taking them off, revamping that to keep the market from just completely plummeting. All right, and they're playing for small changes too, right? They're trying to get a 20-cent win here, 30-cent win here, 40-cent win here, $1 win here, and they're just essentially day trading through the dark pool and trying to stop the bleeding. I mean, couldn't make this stuff up. Right? Couldn't make this stuff up. So as the day progresses at this point, it's a game of just trying to kill the options, right? And that's the majority. That's not even the market makers. The market makers also out there doing things. See, right? See some big old spikes like that there. Like seriously, when you think about it, like who just really doing that? Who's really just going out their way to buy the market like that? It's all the shake out people, shake out the weak hands, allow, degradation in the put market. It's the whole nine. They're going to do this as much as they possibly can up until the point where they just have to kind of make a hard line decision, right? Do you just cut and run, let the market just implode on itself, or do you just, whatever? They're waiting. They're trying to get everything. They're trying to get any press release they can to help them save them. Any little piece of news that come out now, it's going to be magnified, 100 times over for Wall Street. If it's even the slightest inkling of idea that, okay, we may have a little bit another positive news coming out of Russia, it's like, oh, pump the market. They're waiting for that. They're waiting for that moment to happen. Right? These people can't take an L, right? Y'all know how this stuff go. They can't take an L well, right? They do not take L's very, very well, right? As one would say, they do not take L's very well. So essentially, that's exactly what you got there. Again, in those dark blocks, they're just buying those little pots, spots in the market to kind of try to draw the market towards towards the upside, slightly, little bit by little bit. They're trying to bait the market. Let me put it that way. They're baiting the market. They're trying to bait retail dip buyers. Right? They're trying to bait them. Anytime you get like a little spike like that, oh, someone finna get excited. Oh, we finna rally now. We finally finna rally. And guess what happened? They start buying up near the top, 434, 435, whatever. They start buying calls right up around that point, and the market does what? Rolls over on them. It's just baiting them right now, just baiting them and drawing them in, baiting them and drawing them in. They couldn't make this stuff up. Right? Could not make this stuff up. Right. So for the most part, again, once you kind of know how the landscape works, you should be able to navigate it properly. Don't be caught out there, right? Don't be trying to prove that you Hollywood Co, right? You ain't B.A. Baracus, right? You ain't Clubber Lane, right? Mr. T. Look, it's okay. It's okay. Stay in your lane. Right. If it's a small value with the bear energy is making this move, let it happen. Right? Let it happen. Unless you got the skills to kind of play dodgeball very well with your little spy call, pivot point reversals and in and out. Do what you can. Just be safe. Be safe. Right? Be safe out there. Right? Somebody bought 435s up there, and they hoping to be bailed out. Good luck. Hopefully they get bailed out. That's all I can say. Hopefully they get bailed out. Right? The market is wicked, right? It's wicked out there. It's real in the field, they say. Right. Yeah, but them dark pool blocks, man, look, that's how they keep the market propped in days when y'all feel like, man, ain't no volume in the market. And see, that stuff don't show up on the volume bars, too. It does not show up in the volume bars when you're looking at your your charting and all that stuff. Those dark blocks don't show up like that. They're off the book somewhat, but they're on the books. Like it's crazy, right? It is crazy. So they have multiple ways to try to, again, trap retail traders, et cetera, whatever. They have multiple ways, right? Multiple ways to be slick, right? Multiple ways to be slick. Again, it's our job not to get caught out there, right? Not to get caught out there, right? So just be patient again, like I said before. Realize what you're up against, and just, don't jump out there too quick, right? Don't go out there without your parachute, right? Right? Don't jump out there without the parachute. Right? Make sure you definitely have a parachute, right? Right? And preferably a good one and a backup, right? Because the markets are just starting to, and like I said, we're still in the lunch hour, right? It's 12 o'clock. We are inside the lunch hour here. And the market's, again, just trying to play this methodical drip to the downside. It's just trying to stare well on its way down best it can, trying to slam the brakes. It's allowing some people to get out that thought they can get a little turn. The market ain't happening. So we gave you a chance to get out. You can get out. Okay, good. And other people are just feeling more optimistic than the other, thinking the market going to turn. Good luck. That's all I can say is good luck. Right? You out there, you're playing with fire, right? Again, you better have your best clutch game on, right? You got to have your little best Ray Allen and, whoever, right? You got to be a good clutch shooter, a good clutch player right now, right? Where that clutch roll at? Where that clutch B-roll footage at? Where that clutch B-roll at? Let's play some of that clutch right now.
The bar raising, we keep moving it up. Ain't no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I got faith restored, why you pushing the brakes? I ain't full of myself, boy, I'm full of mistakes. I came from humble and roots, I'm here to stand and deliver. Had no one gassing me up, except the man in the mirror. I used to work on my handles, and now it's handles of liquor. I write these songs in a dark room, the candle will flicker. I stay practicing heavy, for when the game's on the line. It's like over and over, I run the plays in my mind. I'm a psycho, I'm taking my time. Rushing perfection is a dangerous crime. You gotta give it and take it. That's what you do till you make it. I had to roll with the punches and take the hits from the flagrants. I'm saying the bar raising, we keep moving it up. And no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. An off game don't mean I'm losing my touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I was falling, had me stalling. I was way down, now I'm balling. I done came up, and I called it. I done came in the clutch with the game on the line. I know I operate from a higher place. Wait, some decisions don't try a race. I'm doing what I can to fuel the flame like a fireplace. To make a bunch of money, buy my mama a fireplace. We make incredible songs to celebrate and get mad lit. Once upon a time in Hollywood, I'm like Brad Pitt. My homies say I live a life, yeah, just a tad bit. Learning how to move in this rap shit. I told them that the bar raising, we keep moving it up. And no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. An off game don't mean I'm losing my touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I was way down, now I'm balling. I done came up, and I called it. I done came in the clutch with the game on the line. I know.
Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you. Because I stand tall like I'm on my tiptoes. Baby, you think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Hey, where the money at? Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get it and split it with my kinfolk daily. And I'm the type of that might change my number on you. Yeah, that's how you react when people took a slumber on you. Pretty brown skin, baby, I can see the summer on you. You see all the bread, and I know it make you wonder, don't you, don't you, don't you? Ooh, I ain't surprised at all. Seen them rise and fall. Went up the mountain, it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but please don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. No, I need it, beat it, before you mess up the mood. Yeah, ooh, I worked too hard for it, and I need it, so please don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. Yeah, don't mess up the mood. Oh, it's so crucial, I gotta keep it. It's in the air, it's everywhere. No, it's not a secret, and I bet they didn't think that I'd ever get it. Everything you've done, I did it. The life you're dreaming, I live it, and I'm coming in high. You better get out the kitchen. Yeah, I could make a hit on whatever you pitching. Baby, let me fill up whatever you missing. Or you like it up at the top, it's a better view, isn't it? I'm not surprised at all, no way. Hey, what you need, come on, just pay the fee, I supply it all. Went up the mountain and it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top I found some relief, you see, so please don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it, no, I need it, beat it, before you mess up the mood. Alright, ooh, I worked too hard for it, and I need it, so please don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Yeah, oh come on, I worked too hard for it. Yeah, don't mess up the mood.
All right. Don't mess up the mood, right? got to be, properly protected, right? Speaking of that, we got some, in a good mood because we got the illustrious Miss Monica Lamb in the building, right? Peace, power, profit. Sister Monica Lamb in the house. Shout out to your day. How's it going? Ilba?
Peace, power, and profit, Oba. And peace, power, and profit to the chat. You know it's tax season, so
That's
excuse me
it.
for my missing in action.
You know how this stuff go. It's a band of brothers and sisters, right? We understand moments of what business is business, right? So,
Mhm.
we put that stuff on wax so we can always kind of follow back up when we got time. So you ain't missing that per se that, you don't have access to in that regard. So, you're handling business,
Right,
So
right.
how's everything been? I know you've been, having your hands full, hands full and everything. So,
Yeah,
outside of that, mhm.
yeah, all is well. I took a little visit to the home state and down do a little mighty grind in New Orleans, whatnot. Took a
Who
little
that?
break.
Who that? Right?
Second line and down bourbon and all in my chair.
Right, making it, hey, enjoying yourself, right? The weather been good, well,
Yes.
somewhat in that area, even though this was that hard freeze stuff, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't bad in that area.
Oh, it was. It was 69, 70.
Nice.
Always good to be home. Uh or whatnot. So that I needed to take a little break or whatnot. Just some information overload.
What they call recharging your battery. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes, 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 yes. We have some good things going on the ground here in Columbia. We were able to repair. I think we did like 18 to 20 homes. Did a really good job
Oh,
with that.
phenomenal. Oh
Um,
man.
so the
And a
state.
lot of people don't know. Again, I know I want to cut the
Oh,
wisdom, but
go ahead.
they don't know that you're a part of a organization where you guys do house restorations, things of that nature. Again,
Mm-hmm.
employing people.
Yes.
So
Yep.
this ain't just charity work. She's actually
Yep.
putting paychecks in people's pockets. So expound on
Yeah.
that a little bit if you don't mind. Let me come on
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. So being a nonprofit, getting funding through the state, I definitely encourage people to rub elbows with their senators and representatives because they got this that your tax dollars is being divvied out to nonprofits, whether yours get some or not. They are being
Right.
divvied out. We were privy. We got like 200,000, so I was able to employ 3 people, and I contracted out 6 contractors, young, seasoned. I had a little diverse group. I stuck one of the others in there just to look good. um so I think each one of the contractors, I tried to make sure that they got sufficient amount of work, anywhere from 20 to 30K worth of work to out there. And we were out in some of the low income area where your grandmas, so to speak, or great grandmas, homes they had purchased way back in probably the 60s or the 70s, and needed some work. And I still have about 30 projects outstanding, so we're hoping to get some more funding soon. I'm gonna work with the USDA soon, and I'll be putting some more people to work, and basically helping out our general contractors out there with some of these projects, which is really exciting because a lot of times those projects go to a lot of the other groups, but once you get the
Right.
information, we're able to hire our own. So which is
Right.
really good. So we end up with, I think, Tri-City Visionaries, which is the housing program, and then we have a youth program on the jumps, and we working with the youth challenge out there on Fort Jackson, the South Carolina Youth Challenge.
Right.
And we hired, I want to say, 12 performing arts in different areas, from acting to painting
Wow.
to I did, matter of fact, I did some investing, like some preliminaries with the fintech account, things of that nature, the difference between that and a bank account,
Nice.
and we
Nice.
awarded two 18-year-olds $50 investment accounts. So we started them off, and someone matched them. So we ended up doing a
Look
hundred
at them.
dollars,
Look at
one
them.
male and one female. So we started them off a stash account in graduation. So I'll be starting that again at the end of the month. And then we have our wellness program, which deals with opioid addiction.
Yeah.
and that has a foundation as well. And we are that's David is actually privy to be a part of that one because of his fitness training. So he'll be
Right.
doing some free classes on Tuesdays and Fridays in in Hopkins at the Holistic Center. So if y'all there and you're in that area or anywhere,
And my
you can come and
Hopkins,
take
South
those.
Carolina family, right? Some of you guys
Yep.
don't understand. That's Hopkins, South Carolina. All right.
Yeah. Right. So he'll be doing free fitness classes for an hour. He's under that grant program. We have a whole bunch of different awareness workshops that is coming under that holistic side of the house. So yeah, so we're doing some great work. So I think all together, we've employed probably almost about 30 people under these grant programs. And then we work with a lot of contractors, so which is really good, getting our people, getting them some more work. So a lot of the people that I think I had 6 contractors, from anywhere from doing roofs to ramps to floors. A big issue I ran into was mold because of the water
Mm,
from 2015,
right.
and the house was already being old and them not having moisture barriers. So I ran into a lot of that, mold issues. And so we have, when I work with USDA, that's one of the things I'm going to highlight because we need more money. Because if you run into a mold issue, oh my God, that project by
Yeah,
itself
that's a
is
problem.
8,000. you know,
Right.
just for them to come out and clean it, not even for them to and put moisture barriers down. And then what has happened is if the wood underneath the house is damaged or the
They
installation
have to
or pipes
replace
or
that.
anything,
Yep.
yes, before they come out. So man, I had one project ran them numbers up on me. But it was good because I was able to plead the case with the state
Right.
on what we were dealing with.
Right. And it
Yeah.
helps with funding too. In the event, in the
Yes.
future you can get more.
Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, I've been super busy on the ground with that, having to put my hands in, go out there. That's in that rural area. Those houses are like far apart in some cases. Many people we weren't able to get to. I'm getting ready to do a workshop for them to let them know, hey, we didn't forget about you. We're working on funding. Here's an
Hmm.
update, that kind of thing. I have a newsletter coming out, so I'll be posting it soon. And we added in, which is really cool. My friend does electrostatic spraying for COVID. So we went out, we backdoored it and went out every house that we've already repaired. We went back and sprayed for them because they're elderly, give them a little at
Right.
ease. So we went and sprayed the houses for them and all that good stuff. So,
Look at that.
so yeah,
See?
that was an extra added attraction. So basically, everybody in the circle who has any type of business, we were able to bring in. So trainer David, he got him a part. Chanisa, the admin part. My friend had electricity spray, and he came in. Had some friends, general contractors, and so it's kind of cool because we were keeping our people gainfully employed and
Right.
contractual, and so out of that they gain more work. You
Right.
know,
Experience
so
and a good resume builder,
yep, yep,
credibility, credentials. You doing
yep,
something with, through a charity organization. So
absolutely,
that state fed connection in that regard. Again, a lot of great,
yep.
badges you can really, parlay.
Right. So one of the things I'm privy to be a part of coming up soon is the Gullah Festival down in Beaufort. So
Ah,
yep.
all
So
right.
working with them and trying to get them funding, state tourism money and things of that nature. Weston House, who's here in Hopkins, they've been a real good blessing. They funded our holiday food boxes, and they funded the veterans. And then they may be sending us some funding for the Gullah Fest. So I'm really excited about that.
They got one coming up actually.
Hmm.
Kickoff one this Gullah celebration on the Hilton Head, because that whole
Yeah.
Gullah
Yeah.
Geechee
Yeah.
expansion, or we call it
Yeah.
tribe, but
Yeah.
that homestead, I'm gonna call what this really a homestead of people who were just these are real people indigenous
Yes.
to those areas, because they cultivate, they tilled the land, they were the first ones and
Yep.
set up agriculture, commerce, their
Yep.
own aspects of technology. People still there today. Now they
Hmm.
ain't just get ran off their land, but they still there
Yeah.
today. So the Gullah Festival has a lot of historical roots,
Yes.
present. And not only that, people fly from all around the world to be a part
Yes.
of it. It ain't just, okay, This little state got the little thing they do.
Mm-hmm.
People know the importance of that area, right?
Yes.
So that's important. So they got that coming up here on Hilton Head here recently, coming up to a Gullah celebration. It's a celebration, so to speak, but it's all a part of the Gullah Festival, you know, in terms of that whole, you know, event thing. So, but the one in Beaufort, South Carolina that she's talking about here, it's coming up here in May.
Yeah,
right?
Memorial
May 27th.
weekend.
That Memorial Day weekend. So up here I have on the screenshot here. If you guys can see it here, you know, to the extent of it. Yeah, and, you know, I got a little family in the Gullah side of things too. Of course, you know, we all connected. You know, my father actually is from Savannah, and so you know, we got ties right across, you know, Hardyville, right across the bridge. You know what I'm talking about? There, the back side of there, Port Wentworth. I know all the area. That Dixie Crystal Sugar Factory right there, all in up Highway 17, all the way up to Myrtle Beach. You know, I mean, all the way up in there, right?
Yep.
I know all those areas. Of course, down in, you know, Richmond Hill, back in the Hinesville, of course, Fort Stewart, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So. Very extensive history there, but again, these are indigenous. You know, if you want to use that word, where these are the true, you know, homesteaders for that land, and they own it outright. And again, they've been practicing their culture since, you know, time immemorial, since they've been there, cultivating the land. Again, you know, doing great things, arts and crafts. A lot of, you know, artisan type of crafts, handmade tools, this, that, and the third, dolls. Doing a lot of the cultural, you know, practices and the dance, as you see the guys did with their the feathers and stuff on the head. So that ain't them Dane Calloway people. These are the original ones, right?
Say it again.
that ain't them type. So you see they got a mixture of the African and so somewhat of the indigenous energy, you know, within their, you know, their dress code. So, but products, I mean, everything, a lot of natural products. So they just pulling right off the land and making. Again, a lot of artisan stuff, as one would say. So, but yeah, if you guys are definitely in that area, you might want to go check it out, because I mean, it'll be great for us to education. If you got young kids, to be, you know, I mean, it's really good for kids. People don't understand the nature that, oh man, the richness and the culture and the, you know, what they get out of that, and a lot of the programs and boosts that they have there for children, the events, it's just really a great opportunity, right?
And you know, I probably play that video that they recorded for last year. Play that one day on the live. It's real rich in culture. They my friend, the person who started this one, Miss Pazant, they used to be recognized by the White House. I think Clinton has recognized them. Bush has recognized them. Obama, so we trying to get it back to that high up level again. And they, you know, they bring in anywhere from 30 to 80,000 people.
Yeah, it really is. Again, a really great event. And see, people see Hilton Head, they did see it as more of, you know, it was kind of colonized by a lot of the whites at some point. They moved out there to kind of get away from them traps that were being laid, you know, during the time when it was tough and rough down there between Beaufort, Hardyville, Georgetown, all that. A lot of those slaves, you know, because keep in mind, that was some of the first revolts that was happening in America, happened in the coastal regions, right?
Yep.
Right. The whole issue with Boxcar, Boxcar Smalls, right? The whole issue, you know, him being in that box, and you know, it's a lot of expensive here. I can go on for days about it, but again, I have a little insight in that because again, I got family in around some of these areas. I read up a lot of that stuff, but you know, these people were really, again, if there was a scenario where they were like free black people in America, those were free black people, right? They moved onto their own auspice, you know, did their things on their own. But Hilton Head used to be owned by blacks. That was a black settlement, and eventually, you know, it got taken over to a degree. You know, they was able, you know, about that's much as they got though. But you know, most of the blacks down there, that area, the free blacks, they was able to hold down that low country area in certain parts. And it's a lot of land ownership in South Carolina that's owned by blacks. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of black, you know, land ownership. And so, yeah, you guys might want to, you know, look into that. You know, if you kind of, you know, looking to do something, it's an outdoor event. So if you know, scared about COVID, at least you'll be outdoors, right? You know, some really, really good historical, rich culture, you know, moment or event in itself. So yeah, definitely check it out, guys. If you definitely, you know, near that area.
Yep. So that should be really, really awesome. So we're gonna work on them, help them out, see what they can bring in. So I'm looking forward to it. If anybody out there get a chance, look at that video. Real rich in culture.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Tell you all about it. That one
This is
right
the
there.
website here too. Matter of fact, let me
Mm-hmm.
pull up. Matter of fact, I could play it on mine. I should have made to get a strike from that. It's all, I got my stuff out there.
Right.
Copyright. Matter of fact, let me see here. Oh, I forgot this over. I gotta switch it. Oh no, that's it. It pulled up.
Audio.
All right. Let me
Yep.
see here. Change it for my
You hit play.
computer. Yeah, I had to change it for my computer speakers to pick it up because I have
okay.
my focus right on. Let me see here.
I forgot. You got that cool setup now.
Yeah, there's a headache. I'm still trying to learn it too. I'd be all over the place with this thing sometimes, switching back and forth. But let me pull up here, guys. We get a little snippet of here again. Again, this is what I'm talking about here.
What is color? A people, a language, a culture whose origin lie along the coastal regions of South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. It is the blending of the cultures from West African countries such as Sierra Leone, Senegal, Gambia, Mali, Togo, Benin, Liberia, Angola, Nigeria, Cameroon, Mali, Niger, the rice coast of Africa. Our foodways, religious practices, music, child rearing practices, arts such as sweetgrass making, farming expertise, was that of a people who were kidnapped and forced to be the free labor on these plantations of America. Our cultures were blended with that of the Europeans that became the masters of the plantations, and that of the Native Americans that were original landowners that the plantations were built upon. It is the blending of all of these ethnic groups that gave birth to this rich and unique culture that still strives and thrives on the sea islands of South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida. Because of the isolation of many of these areas, enslaved Africans have been able to maintain and retain many of our Africanisms that gives way to the Gullah Geechee culture. It is the closest retention of our African ancestry in America.
Thanks.
This is Roy Hicks, and I am the president of the Original Gullah Festival.
And I'm Anita Senkleton-Prather, better known as Aunt Pearlie Sue, and I'm vice president of the Original Gullah Festival of historic Beaufort, South Carolina.
We are here with you today. We wish we could be with you in person, but as you will know, that due to the COVID, we could not have anything live. So for the past 2 years, we've had some kind of banding going on. So in this presentation, this is the glimpse of the Gullah Festival's past.
And we're going to show you some exciting things that was happening for the last 30 years or so. And we want to give you a feel of what it's going to look like in 2022 when we meet back here at the historic Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park in downtown Beaufort.
2022. That's right. That's May 27th, 28th, and 29th, Memorial Day weekend. And so please enjoy this film, enjoy the showing, and please make sure that you share your comments as well after you've experienced the presentation. So we hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in a minute.
I guess some of you are wondering, how in the world did we get started with this original Color Festival of Beaufort, South Carolina?
How did we?
Well, it started, in fact, at your grandmother's dining room table in 1985. They were sitting around reminiscing with Marlena McGee about old-time Decoration Day.
Really?
Your Aunt Charlotte, your Aunt Reba, and your Aunt Lolita, along with your grandma, and Marlena decided, well, you know, why don't we create an event that will bring back that atmosphere of celebration and excitement that Decoration Day was here.
Oh.
And see, a lot of people don't know that Decoration Day was started May 1st, 1865, and it was started by newly freed Africans. And because of Decoration Day, it's why we have Memorial Day now, started by newly freed blacks in Charleston, South Carolina. Then it moved down here to Beaufort because we had the first national cemetery that was founded and established in 1862 by President Abe Lincoln himself, designating those 29 acres in Beaufort proper as the final resting place for those who fought to preserve the Union. It was one of the largest celebrations throughout the U.S. Over 10,000 participants in the first parade in 1865.
1865.
Can you imagine that?
Ain't that something?
I mean, and it was the blacks and northern whites.
Yeah.
They said almost 3,000, between 3,000 and 4,000 children were participated in the first parade. And what happened was when those Union, at the end of the war, April 9th, 1865, those U.S. colored troops of the 2nd Infantry came through and realized that their comrades, the U.S. colored troops, had been buried in a mass grave and hadn't been given proper military rights. So they dug up those 200 plus bodies and reinterred them into separate graves and decorated the graves with flags and shells and flowers. And that's where we got the term Decoration Day from. And it's an old West African tradition to decorate the day of the grave of the deceased. And so with that, they planned a great celebration, which was May 1st, 1865, right there at the old Washington racetrack that became a Confederate prison during that time. And they had marches, the U.S. colored troops marched, you had speeches, you had picnics, you had horse races, and I mean, it became a great, great big celebration. And like I said, later it was moved to Beaufort, near our national cemetery, and we always had a carnival that came into town.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, my God. The carnival would come almost 2 weeks before Decoration Day. And boy, it would be so much excitement.
Okay.
And you know, colored folks, we didn't necessarily come home for 4th of July, but you had to come home for Decoration Day to honor the deceased. And so we were excited that this wonderful festival was created. And your grandmother carried the helm for years, you know, until, you know, health and death took her away from us. But your Aunt Charlotte picked it up, and now you run with the torch. And so we're excited, and we want people to remember Memorial Day weekend,
Yes.
Decoration Day,
Yes.
and Gala Festival.
How wonderful do. I've just asked you, how are you doing? I'm Scott Gibbs, and I presently serve on the board of directors of the Gullah Festival, as well as the entertainment coordinator. We are so saddened that we could not have our festival this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're here this evening at the Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park, where we generally hold our festival every year. So joining me are Sharon Joyce Miller and Miss Geneva Smalls, and they serve on the entertainment committee.
That word,
with
Smalls.
So Sharon, you want to share with them what they're gonna see this evening on this video clip?
Yes, on this video clip, you will see lots of bands, vocalists, storytellers, educational tributes to explain the culture more, all types of entertainers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be really
I think so. And Geneva's going to talk about my favorite part. What is that, Geneva?
The food, which involves the vendors.
Yes.
So with the vendors, we have lots of crafts, clothing, music, drinks, and of course, all different types of food, seafood, Gullah cuisine, and some local taste as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this evening, you're going to see some of our favorite clips that we've selected that we hope over that past 30 years. So we're hoping that you're going to enjoy that. So enjoy.
Yes,
Enjoy.
enjoy.
Girl, I can't believe the world will give me. I'm surprised
That sounds a little better. Oh, now y'all can do better, man. I'm a big girl, so I need a little more than that. That little skinny girls that got to work at the wall, you know, they got to work at the wall, but us big girls, we just stand still. And we got wobble, 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 wobble. Yeah. Wobble, wobble, wobble. I tried to take you there for a play some wobble music yesterday, so I can show them little young what the snappers how to do that. One, two, one, two.
It's a long video. It's like 59 minutes. Of course, I'm not gonna play the whole entire thing, but just to give you an understanding of, they're just showing you, excess of the old festivals, and, kind of seeing what's going on with fall event back there, singers, the whole aspect. So you guys can kind of get an understanding of what goes on at the Gullah Festival. And these are just the performances now. All the real fun is obviously happening, outside of the stage stuff, right? The different booths, the vendors, arts and crafts. Right? Of course, dance and all that stuff like that. The cuisines, you guys can kind of see what's going on there. The arts and crafts, right? You come away with a lot of great, arts and crafts. And it embodies a whole lot of things. Of course, that's that Southern eating, though. You know, you got, you know, bring you some diet pills, right? Bring your diet pills. The food definitely going to be rich, you know. You know, just how, you know, what's going on. Again, it's right off the coastline, So between Savannah, again, you know, Beaufort, Hardyville, up towards, you know, Hilton Head, Sea Island, all these areas, of course. And as far as down far as Brunswick, you know, there's, you know, parts of those areas as well where a lot of the black indigenous, you know, call it that, of course. Those black homesteaders are in that perspective. Jekyll Island, you know, St. Simon's Island, down towards St. Augustine, of course. I mean, endless. The Okefenokee Swamp, you know, I actually kayak down the Okefenokee Swamp when I was in high school, or middle school. It was pretty interesting.
Hi. My name is Charlotte Pazant Brown, and I am a co-founder and a past president of the original Gullah Festival. My current position is the chair of the Lest We Forget series. I created this series because it focuses in on one of the goals of the original Gullah Festival, which is education and preservation. In the Lest We Forget series, we have two basic categories. We have presenters who come in and give information, and we also have panel discussions. Among our presenters, we have had talks about things like the Gullah tales, the customs, and the cultures. We have also done the Reconstruction era, where we talked about people like General Robert Smalls and Harriet Tubman. We also have talked about the Jim Crow era. We also have talked about the evolution of the Black churches, such as Tabernacle, and the music as it has evolved through the years in the Black churches. In addition, we have referred to ancestry and talked about how important it is to know your history and your family and where you come from. And we have also tackled our connection to Native Americans and the Gullah people directly to Africa, Barbados, and the Low Country Gullah people. In addition, our panel discussions have focused on some of the current events that face us today. For instance, we've talked about what it's like to live in a large family and how important large families were to Gullah people for many reasons. We also talked about the education of Gullah people in the Low Country and what happened to our Black high schools and where education went to. We've also referred to the family and the farmers and how important farming has been to this particular area and what important role Black farmers played in the Low Country and Gullah through the years. We talked about policing and law enforcement because we know that we have had issues everywhere, and especially now when it comes to how we look at law enforcement, especially when it comes to the Gullah people and how it has evolved through the years. And last but not least, we have also focused on women of power, women of influence, women and the struggles that they have go through, what they are still going through. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank Fred, Alice, and Bill for making our Lest We Forget series, each and every last one of them, memorable and enjoyable for everyone who views them. Thank you. Alive, and so that people will know how the connections are. As I explained to even Doug a couple of days ago,
they lost it, the Africans themselves, because they were so afraid that they were going to be eaten. That's what they used to believe, that they were going to be eaten by these white men when they take it away. And some of them just lost it, and eventually they died of starvation. Now the British didn't understand what was going on with these guys, so they just thought that they were that's how the British refer to them. If you became catatonic, you have the letters. So they didn't like that because they were losing money when it happened. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how the island itself operates. So at this time, I think I'll have to show you a picture. All right. That's Bonds Island. This is a 3D dimensional kind of thing to reconstruct what the island actually looked like back in the days. And no one's ever seen this one. This is the first time I'm presenting this. But it tells you exactly how we used to do it. So I'm going to walk you through this quickly, yeah? Over here is the gate star. So this is the first, when you come in from, when the Europeans came in or when the slaves came into Bonds Island, they were coming through these doors here. On top of here was a security post that watched downriver all the time. Why? Because Bonds Island needed to know when they were going to be attacked or when friendly people were visiting. We need to know from miles ahead as to who's coming and what's going on and what not. So they had office gate tower over here, they had entrance over here, and this here, what you see is called the fortification. It was loaded with those cannons. These guys were traders, so they weren't really military personnel, but they had those cannons there for the story I told you guys earlier to like delay the attack on them. So they would fire these cannonballs from these regions into the Sierra Leone River, which would be around here somewhere, to stall attackers. They would send dispatches to Oswald, and one of the things that he used to say was that the people from the rice coast of West Africa were sold at a premium because of their rice cultivating skills. I mean, in Africa, on the coast, we've been growing rice for eons.
Right.
So when the European traders here discovered rice, they actually found out about rice. You touched on this a little earlier. They found it in Asia, rice, and they found out that it could do well in these marshlands, swamp areas. So when they started looking for people who know how to grow rice, they looked for the rice growing coast, and they offered a premium for these types of slaves because it was important. The rice industry was one of the most successful industries in America, and at one point, South Carolina had a black majority because those guys were working so much numbers.
Facts.
But also, when the slaves got here, they came with mosquitoes. So that was another thing. European traders in the plantation areas used to die. They didn't know what was killing them, but it was malaria. Because those pesky mosquitoes brought malaria. And of course, the Africans were a little more immune to malaria because we've been having malaria for eons also.
All right, just kind of getting a little snippet there, guys. Girls, a little moment, right? Pause for the call to get a little historical value, and you gotta always appreciate that. Again, history is magic. If the way I look at it, because again, as we say in terms of market value, we look to the left to establish the future, right? You look to the past to establish the future, or get a track record at least. And so for us, of course, we don't run from it; we run to it. Well, I can speak for myself in that regard. I don't run from my past; I run to it, because there's a lot of nuggets and information and clues and breadcrumbs that can be very beneficial in how you navigate or circumnavigate the world, so to speak, right? So respect and great energy to the Gullah, the Gullah Geechee value in itself, the whole, the whole energy surrounding their presence, right? That's still here again as free Black men and women, children, cultural, the expansion of what came from that, the agricultural, the technology, the whole nine. These people were self-sustaining. They were self-sustaining, right? Still to this day, they're still there, living off the land, benefiting from a very diverse ecosystem. Of course, being in the low country, unlimited seafood, unlimited wetlands. Again, the rice, again, rice cultivation. That's where it sparked, really spun from, especially when it comes to the American value. That, I mean, again, as you heard the guy was saying, Africans been cultivating rice like since forever, right? It ain't nothing new to us. So people always want to run to the Asians, right? The Asians, they got rice pattern. No, they late. Trust me. Again, history is so vast, boy. Joker get miseducated all the time, and they'll just have you believe in anything to kind of take away any credit away from Black excellence or Black achievements. People will run to that because they just can't fathom that we were doing phenomenal things. Like, we're the oldest people on the planet, so how is it that we don't know anything if you're the oldest? Like, seriously, like illogical things that people turn around in their head to kind of make themselves think that whatever, right? They drink their own Kool-Aid trying to be hateful, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I don't run from the past. I run to it because it's important that we realize that. All right, so shout out to the Gullah Geechee again. The festival is May 27th through 29th down in Beaufort, South Carolina. If you are interested, of course, I just post a link. Of course, you see it up there anyway, but you can go to their website and get involved, especially if you live down those areas, just trying to find places to go. Of course, y'all done went to Paris and y'all been traveling all over Asia, but you don't want to do nothing on the African side of things. Okay, I get it. Yeah, okay, about that, right? About that, right? So yeah, so there's the link there, guys. I'm gonna put it in the back chat over there. If you guys are interested, there it is there. So shout out to the Gullah Geechee, right? The fam, right? The fam, right? Shout out to those brave, beautiful melanated beings. Right. So I'm gonna get that over there as well. I'm post that over there on my fake book page, right? So that way I have a archive link to it myself. All right, so that's that. So there you go, Gullah Geechee, right? Get excited. Sister Monica definitely be a part of it this year. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a lot of pictures and stories to tell. And if I'm fortunate, I might could just get away. I don't know, but we typically do something on the family side for that day, even though I don't celebrate holidays. But I look at it as a way to kind of commune with family. And if what better scenario if you're gonna celebrate something like Memorial Day, it was born and birthed out of the necessity of Black remembrance. So a lot of people didn't even know that Memorial Day was strictly for Black people. A lot of the Black soldiers, right? Black suffering. They coined that day for Black people, and now it's a national holiday that everybody celebrates for whatever reason, right? Everybody got someone they can mourn, but it was literally birthed and born for Black people, right? The ideal of the Memorial Day, right? We are very, ancestry laden people anyway, right? We definitely pay homage to our ancestry. So the whole ideal and energy behind memorializing individual is definitely nothing shy of nothing. Just it's definitely monolithic to a lot of the Black experience or African experience. Just from how we venerated our passing, right? Our ancestors, our dead, whatever, right? I mean, even going back far as Kemet, how we memorialize our dead, right? The Sahu, right? Some people call it the mummy, but we know it to be the Sahu, right? If you're really about that life and you understand the meta nature, right? It's called the Sahu, not the mummy, right? And the pyramid is called the Mirkut, right? The Mirkut Su, right? If you really want to take it there. So, but anyway, enough about that, right? Because I'll go in on my little soapbox with that stuff and have a whole nother lesson. All right, so for now, let's give a little quick peek in what's going on with the stock market. What's going on over, Chris? We see it popped in the building too. I know you guys have been in and out. How's your day going over, Chris? Man, what's popping in your neck of the woods? I don't know if you're able. He might be on the grind. I know he was moving in and out a little bit, so over Chris might be making moves. So let's give a quick little snapshot on what's going on with the markets right now. Let's do that real quick. Let me pull up the big picture too. Let's do a whole big picture. What's going on with the markets now? Like I said earlier, we know that the markets are definitely playing the role of chicken. We do know that the back end of the day is going to be very, interesting. Here we go. Just like we were saying, here we go. Right. So it's literally after 1 o'clock now. So, Wall Street's kind of, back from lunch. Here comes the downtrend. Just like I said, don't get caught in small little pops right here. Don't get, baited in with that. People trying to buy the dip in the calls. And right now they just underwater even more. Right. Again, we've been doing this a little too long to not realize this stuff. That's how you don't get trapped. Look at Tesla. Tesla just bleeding down there, the low 830s. Look at Tesla. Tesla was sitting up there as high as basically, 930, 940 for the longest, 920. And now it's back down to 830, right? Definitely broke below the VWAP on the daily. some very, massive problems there. Of course, we already know what's going on with Roku. Roku just had earnings. It's just completely just been on the downhill slalom ever since they breaking that 237 ledge, giving back around about the end of, December timeframe, going into the new year. It broke and ain't looked back since. It's down here again, literally close to that of, matter of fact, let me change the data on this thing so it can reflect the real time on the daily chart. You way down here near $100 a share at this point, right? So again, it went down as low as that. I think some got close to it low today, around about 103, 102, doing pre-market, and it's been fighting, ever since, trying to, try to tread water, but it's definitely downtrending here in the back end of the day. Redfin had earnings, of course. That's why I have it up on the screen, because I still got some puts in this. I had a chance to sell it early off, when it got down like $20 and change. I should have, of course, should have, could have, would have, but again, I got busy doing other stuff. But I'm still sitting in it, of course, for the value that I know the back end of the day probably gonna put a little bit of pressure on it. We may get that rollover back towards $21 a share, if not lower. We'll see, right? We'll see. But nonetheless, that position is still up nicely. It's up, I think, around about $400-500, right? I bought the $28 strike puts in the earnings on Redfin, right? Dealing with the housing market issue. Matter of fact, they had home sales came out today as well. That was a part of the economic calendar. I think they came in pretty baseline. It beat, but we know those numbers are fugazi at this point. Why? Because the housing market finna go into a lot of what under scrutiny, because rates are get ready to get raised, interest rates. So something to think about, basically. All right, something to think about from that perspective. So right now, again, that position is sitting up pretty nicely. What else I have on the table? I got, of course, Roku. Still got Roku. Spoke about that. I bought some intraday SPY puts too, so I was very methodical. So in the AM, when the market kind of made that little push for a little, I guess a little type of a push, I was fortunate to get me some puts at around about 438 and change. Right, couldn't make this up. I was sitting there waiting. I was like, oh, they finna try to push this thing. So as soon as I saw those two big, green, engulfing bullish candles, I said, this ain't gonna last. I've seen this before, right? That's algos, that's hedge funds, everybody kind of spoofing the market, kind of get it up to kind of see if they can keep it from crashing. As soon as it got up like 430 and start kind of hitting that, the breaks up there, I bought me some puts, right? So I bought some puts up there on the SP 500, and you pretty much see what's going on at this point. It's not even, yeah. I bought the 437s to be exact, right? So it's just rolled over nicely ever since then. I just had the feeling that today is going to be that kind of outflow day, which is natural. Again, we talked about all the reason why it would be such of an outflow type of day, and those puts are up nicely here as well, up about near $1,000 on those actually right now. I bought 3 of them, right? 3 of them, so it cost me every bit around about close to like $400 and change, somewhere around to give or take, and now I'm up $1,000 plus in profit. So up over 180% give or take. All right, so that's a nice little bag intraday. So those are strictly intraday. I'm close those out definitely, because these are 0 days to expiration. So just like the 0 days to expiration on the call, right? I got the 0 days to expiration on the puts, right? So that's a quick little $1,000 plus, right? Because it's still working. Unless anything happen crazy, of course, I got a trailing stop on it. I'm watching it here. But if we definitely break below 431, 430 on the S&P 500, it can get real ugly, right? We can go definitely test those lows that we saw maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, right? Give if that right somewhere around there when the market was kind of trending around in that 420 area, right? So we definitely can come take that out if it gets really bad, right? So we got a couple levels to look at here. Of course, 430. You got some wicks. You see those wicks right there. Those wicks are very revealing in that regard too. We could take out some of those wicks at 427, 428 area. Then after that, it can get real ugly down towards that 420. The market can get very squirrely, as one would say, right? Last time we seen those areas, we're going back far as October of last year, right? The 427, 430 area. So yeah, it can get, real, real in the field, as one would say. If we can get that, that kind of pullback down towards that area there. So the market's going to fight. Of course, it's going to do what it always do. It's going to fight to the bitter end. It's not going to come easy and go, as easy as well. So, but for now, the downtrend is intact, right? There's no need for me to go outside of my game plan. The moving averages are telling me stay in the trade. Of course, you see the 20 moving average here trailing the SPY here. That's a guideline. Of course, so amongst many other scenarios. So I'm just watching and waiting to see how this thing unfold. Again, keep my eye on Bloomberg. I got Bloomberg up in my, my office here. So I got that going just in case I get into breaking news as far as the Russia stuff. So I can be, I may have to make a hasty retreat if they try to pull up, oh, see, we got some good news on the Russia front, whatever, right? They desperate. We know they're desperate. So I got that going in here as well. So, just watching everything unfold, right? No harm, no foul, no pressure, no rushing. I don't feel any kind of, pressure with my positioning. I'm just letting it all, letting it all happen, right? So up nicely on the day. Again, as of now, I think I'm up total, profit on today. I'm up over a little over $3,000, right? Up over about a little over $3,000, like $3,070 in profit on the day. Yesterday had a great day as well. We got, we ended up profiting a little over $1,500 in profit yesterday. So another 3,000 plus today. So close to about 5,000 the last couple of days. I'm loving it, right? Again, I'm just doing what we're trained to do. I'm playing my positions, as one would say. And I'm being, again, very conscientious in terms of my risk, right? Risk management, risk mitigation, the whole reality within that. And I know that the markets are very, skittish and they're embarrassed, right? Wall Street, again, hates to take an L because they just been kind of living off the greed wagon for so long. They can't fathom the markets pulling back, again, and we're only down like 1%. That's what's crazy about it. Like, typically the markets will be down like 2-3%. But there's so much liquidity, again, just propping the market, it would just not fall. It would not roll over in the way that we know it could and should. And that's, it is what it is, right? We understand the nature of them playing, they're playing defense, right? They're playing defense, right? They're doing everything they can to keep this market from just really imploding on itself. But again, as the closer we get to the back end of the day, you best believe that selling pressure is going to pick up. Why? Because again, they're up against the clock. They're waiting and wanting any kind of good news to come out on the Russia front. Again, truth be told, we all would to, avert the value of war. However, as an investor, I do realize that opportunity what lies in both lanes, right? Long and short, right? And that's okay. That I have a problem. I don't have a problem with them, going through all the diplomatic stuff, whatever the case. If the market's pulling back because of the fear of that, I have no qualms about that, right? I have no qualms about that at all, right? I'm just doing what I've been trained to do. The same way if if the market was skyrocketing right now, I'll be going long, right? I would definitely be going long, right? So no harm, no foul on that perspective. So I'm just playing what the market is giving me. It's the whole reality here. And right now the market is paying quite nicely, right? Especially on the intraday here again, up about $3,000. And so if it gets real out of hand, which I'm hoping to do, I'm just thinking the back end should be a deluge of people running for the exit. If it really gives me that, we could easily end up around about maybe up right near $5,000 on the day, right? On terms of intraday profit. And that'll be great. Again, we're working hard. So we're just trying to reap the benefits, right? So be it, as they say, right? So be it as it may be. What's going on over, Chris? I know if you have your Peace, Power, Profit. I know you was kind of in and out early. You good?
Yeah. Peace,
Okay,
Power, Profit, over. Yeah, I'm just,
nice.
I got people calling in,
handling business,
and trying to get shoes and, asking
That's
about
what I'm talking about.
that.
Right, entrepreneur, right? Matter of fact, if you want to, I don't know if you got time, and I know you're busy, but just like we did with Sister Monica, man, if you want to share a screen and share what you do, share your products, share your shoes, and direct people to the website, because we just been spending time speaking entrepreneur stuff and culture and like a typical day in the life of us. But you definitely got the flow to do that if you're able to, of course.
Man, I need to get on my computer so I can do that, because I know
there's no rush. I'm just saying if you're in a position to, Core,
yeah.
If you could, but but you can speak it just as much as you can show it in the same breath, because it ain't like you're new to it. So
for sure.
It's interesting.
I'm glad you said that too, because I need to get people, the links to, these retailers. So if you're interested in, just buying Nike shoes, you ain't gotta buy Jordans and all of that stuff. You'll always get you some $50, $60 Nike shoes or Adidas or whatever the case is. But I do need to share the Foot Locker links in their subsidiaries, like Champ Sports and Foot Action and East Bay and all of that, because I do get credit, for referring people to the links. and they
Right,
just,
as an affiliate. Right.
yeah. So they give us points, and points help us, lock in certain reservations on shoes that come out. It's very beneficial. Um, so I do need to do that. So you don't have to use my link. You can just go to Foot Locker, or download the FLX app. We call it Flex. Um, and you can kind of use those apps, to
I would say this. I would prefer we use your links because again, you provide knowledge, you
Yeah.
give in game. Why not benefit from it? So that's why I was asking. In the event that you definitely, an ability to post your links, nothing else in the back chat, I would rather you do that. And I know you just going, we fair minded anyway because you just giving people the game. I get it, but gotta be great because it's an incentive, right? Why wouldn't you want to, because it ain't costing them nobody nothing. That regards the benefit that you get for putting people on. And that's how people should be able to do business like that, right? We ain't, we get it, of course, but everybody else don't get it sometimes. They just try to spite you just because you get information. They'll go outside of you. And I don't know. It's some weirdness. The world weird. That's all I can say. There's some weird stuff out there in the world.
You ain't lying, man. But yeah, also you can download sneakers apps. I mean, I don't get anything for that, referring people to the sneakers app. So download Nike and sneakers app. They're separate, but it's all under Nike. JD Sports, Finish Lines. You can download those as well. They do a reward system for customers or consumers, and they have something called exclusive access. So the more you spend, of course, the more you get rewarded. And with these rewards, they have like this VIP system, which is called exclusive access. So if you enter, Jordans or Yeezys or whatever the case is, you are picked out of the total group to, exclusively get these shoes, while, other people, have to try so hard to get them. So they do reward you with that. And that's how I make a lot of my my money because, I had to put in footwork, spend, here and there, get other people to spend to try to, build points, and build like a camaraderie, with, these retailers. That way, when a hot shoe drops, I can have better chances at accessing and getting those shoes. That way, I ain't got to go to the resale market because the resale market is expensive, and you're paying more. Yeah, you're paying more for what that shoe is going for retail. We all know these shoes don't cost that much to make, but when you put the the brand on it, you got to spend. So it definitely benefits you spend being a consumer. So I also plug that in with Stash, which is why I tell people I'm so big on Stash. Whether Stash gives you 50 cents on a purchase or not, it doesn't matter because the 50 cents is going into the stock market. It's better than nothing going into the stock market at all, and your bank just taking the money out your account. So, it's a double assets type of thing. You get a Jordan shoe that'll go up in value over time, and then you'll get Nike stock or Foot Locker or whatever the case is, by using Stash's system. And I'm gonna keep pushing this as long as I'm living because you're using your bank card. You ain't getting no rewards like this. I don't care. You're just not. So I'm trying to lay down the map, where you can benefit from being a consumer. So we all consume. We have to buy things that we need. If you want to take some of that stock market money you made off options, put your money on a Stash card, and go shop where you need to shop and get you some stock back.
I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up. I keep money loaded on my Stash card for that same reason.
Facts.
Because it just makes sense. You're getting, interest accruing interest on your interest of an item that you are purchasing or a service. Like, how you beating that? You can't.
Right.
You have to be just intellectually lazy not to take advantage of such an opportunity because I suppose you get a loose change back or rolling up, like they do with some of that stuff, rolling over and all this stuff. It's going towards a stock that's still working. that has the potential to keep working.
Back.
And the more this compounds into that little holding, no matter what the stock is at, if it's falling or going up, it's going to bounce out at some point. You're just building. You're building that nest, so to speak, right?
That's right.
And eventually, these good stocks that, you may have your stash stock back, linked to, like mine. I had mine going back between Apple and Tesla and Google for a minute.
Yeah,
and a couple of them. I just play because you can change them too. That's great about it. You can switch them. And so I'm playing the same way I play like a trade sometimes, right? And so let Tesla come down a little bit more. I'm going to switch it back to Tesla, right? Because, see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I'll be buying stuff and getting, fractional, incremental shares of Tesla. You can't beat that. So, man, boy.
That's nothing but facts. And,
that's,
see, even how Oba just explained it, even that's strategic in itself. You have the option to do that. You can't do this with a bank card. You cannot. Facts. You cannot get Tesla stock back from going to the corner store, getting a bag of chips and a drink.
Right.
Man, come on, y'all. Like,
it's a no-brainer. Really, when you think about it, it's no-brainer.
No-brainer. So, more info, y'all can, we got our group. We very approachable people. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go through the door, man.
Facts.
And, we just try to, capitalize on all opportunities that, they give us. Even though they taking our money, we got to find a way to take some of that money back, like Oba said earlier. We got to get our ancestors' money back. And this is a way to do it. I don't, being an entrepreneur, you can make your money that way as well. But, these markets is full of money that, has been taken from our people for so long. And, we got to get in the game to start taking that money back. Because this economy is built on assets. So whether we like it or not, you have to play by the rules. And that's the rules of engagement, assets. And those who don't have assets get penalized, unfortunately.
Facts.
So,
and it's unfortunate. You're so right.
That's pretty much it, man. Let me see if I can grab these links and put them in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, definitely, man. If you got your links, put them out there so the family, since we are on the top in that regard, so that kind of interest is already, kind of put out there on the airways. People can, at least, follow back on those and check it out. And if they see something in it they like, by all means, take advantage of it, right? So, it's a part of that networking, right? That network, the networkability aspect of being in places where people, are engaged in providing people incentives or opportunity. That's how it should be, right? You should just be able to circle your wagons and enjoy a lot of different, opportunities amongst the people who are out there actually, opening up doors, whatever. So,
absolutely.
Again, shout out to Oba Chris, and being, again, on that side of the house, he definitely holds down that connoisseur side of getting people in the game, right? And showing you how that works. Because, we're proponents of that now. It's like you spending your money on this stuff and just buying it. You never think about investing, even back to the same stuff that you buy. I mean, that's a lose-lose situation. You got to start realizing it now.
Yeah.
You got to it just don't make no sense, be at a lot of our ages and we still making those kind of, adolescent type of, mistake, so to speak, right? You got to get in the habit of figuring out how the system works and work it, right? They work it. Right? Get yours on the back end and the front if you can. So it's important, man. It's very important that people realize that. So
absolutely.
So then, Oba Chris will post those links when he get them, so you guys can, definitely check them out. It's Oba Divine, so he found 2 pairs of old Jordans in not too bad condition. Oba Chris, see.
And they probably have some value, some value than where you purchased them at. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's not, it's not always about, how I look at it is, it ain't me getting fly. I care less about getting fly. I care more about getting wealthy. And, if these these shoes these collectibles is going to, hold some value and I can flip them for, more than what I paid for them, I don't see why not. At some point I'll probably get tired of it and be like, You know, I don't really care about it no more. But, you know, the money I make from that, I have to put that back into the market because that's the name of the game, you know.
Right. Revamp. That's it. Yeah. Pull from here to invest over here and back, you know, vice versa. Right. That's the great thing about it. It's an unlimited, you know, flow, you know, of opportunity.
Right.
And that's most people that got money. They know exactly how to work the system. That's exactly what they do. They just move money around all day, every day. Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you definitely get it. Everything that we're trying to do here, of course, is just an extension of that. Man, shoe right there like $1,000, $1,500 for them shoes there.
Yeah.
Low top, like Air One with the backwards check on it.
Yep.
1,500 of them jokers.
And you got people that, you know, they spend $15,000-$20,000 on an exclusive shoe. And I'm like,
they doing on the NFTs right now, so I wouldn't see how they would. They definitely, and virtual real estate, all that craziness, like, bro, they just overboard with that. $600,000 on some virtual land. It's virtual land. Like,
yeah, boy, that's
tough.
I can't do it.
Got too much cash on their hands to be. That's all I can say. The world got too much cash on their hands.
Facts.
It is a hot mess out there in them streets, boy.
Ain't lying, boy.
Man, you should have been investing that money. What you talking about, man? But that's doing it to work. But, you know, to each his own, of course. Like I say, to each his own. They do their thing, do whatever they need to do. But at some point, they'll like, man, look, okay. Got to start planning for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm. One way or another.
So that's, you know, again, you guys are interested in, you know, StockX is one of the sites that Open Chris uses a lot. Some of the ones he already gave out, but definitely when he posts his links, you got, you know, in the back chat or maybe even after the video go up, however, you guys got, you know, instant access, right? Instant access in that regard, right? And if you got questions, of course, you know, given the time that if he have it, he can definitely help navigate you, right? You know, to making kind of, you know, purchases or what to do, what to look for if you're trying to get an authentic sneaker, all that, you know, the good information that you need to know, of course, so you don't have to kind of, you know, get caught out there. You just you know, doing anything, buying anything, don't understand how it works.
Right.
So that's the importance of having knowledge and know-how and what, you know, how to help people in that regard. So treasure trove of information and help. So you got to love that. You know, so shout out to Open Chris.
Appreciate it, Open.
And check his YouTube out, then, because you know you got a YouTube channel, you're building it. So definitely go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, again, as you see him in the chat on YouTube, you know, just, you know, that's how you would copy his name and post it in the search bar and go pull up his channel if you haven't already subscribed to it. Right? You want to definitely go do that as well.
For sure. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Open. I just hit 100 subscribers, so
see, look at that.
Just need to get to 1,000 now.
That's it. Should have been at 1,000 already, but you know how black people are. They think they spite you just by holding back a subscribe, like it's costing them.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna subscribe to your channel. Like, okay, all right. I told you, the word's weird. I keep saying that. There's some weirdos out there in the world, man. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. It's some weird mess out here.
Thanks.
A lot of this stuff is simple, but people want to complicate it because I don't know. Let me get off my soapbox before I go in. It's a mess out there, man. It is a mess. But hopefully people start to realize that, you know, it ain't us against each other. It's us against those who are trying to separate us from the opportunity, right? And it's a simple reality in that regard that, you know, people work hard. They should be able to, you know, extend the benefit across, you know, a broad spectrum. But, you know, we know they ain't like that. And so, yeah, it's good to have, again, proper think tanks, good circles, entrepreneurs at you know, or around your scenario. So hey, you know, you can feed off one another. That's what it's supposed to be about. You know, information is power and knowledge is power, so to speak. So as we say, and that's non-negotiable, as one would say, especially in my book. So shout out to people who understand that, who moving, you know, making moves. All right. So yeah, so guys, a lot of going on, you know, and we got about another what's the hour, about 1:40. So we're kind of close to, you know, again, you know, getting close to that that time frame. So the market's still playing, the game of hot potato right now. It's trying to, rip on every time they get close to a major, whole dollar point, on the chart on this downtrend, it's just ripping off of, like, as soon as we got to 432, here come the dip by, here come the rip. Again, they're just trying to slowly, methodical walk this market down and try to kill puts as much as possible, because the puts are paying right now. The puts are paying. I definitely know mine definitely printing. So I know a lot of other people who've been riding this market down all day, but this is them just trying to slow the brakes on the market much as they can, best they can going into the weekend. So again, they got to play the role of being stingy, and they in their feelings again. Like I said, they are in their feelings today. Wall Street in their feelings, and market makers in their feelings, and fund managers in their feelings. And, they can't accept the fact that the market, is not Teflon done as they thought it was. Like, that punch bowl again has been taken away by the feds, and it's a lot of things that starting to surround it where you have to sink or swim now, right? You have to learn how to trade, right? Now they got to dust them trading books off again that they forgot about. And we've been staying in ours, right? We took no days off in our aspect of education and understanding. So we prepared.
Trying to build that account up, man. Get my trading account to 10 racks.
Right. Make some moves, right? When all is said and done, the dust settle, boy, there's gonna be some good opportunities out there. And we're gonna be right there ready to pounce on them too. So no harm, no foul for us. Like, let it happen. That's all, like, let it happen. They either make it slow and painful, right? Or they can go ahead and get it out the way so we can get right? Get on with the get on, right? Because we ready. Right?
Absolutely.
We taking the approach of the what they call the stay ready, so you don't have to worry about getting ready. We're already in that mode. So, and some would say, we are the curious investor, right? So, we're watching it and paying attention, and again, just waiting for that moment to happen. Right? It's coming. It's definitely coming. Right? We wrote a song about it, like hit go.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, then I double up again under their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me, they need a blade in a sheath, a shank in a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank in a jeep, a navy at sea, with ace a marine, an ace up their sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they will lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane.
As they say, stay on your toes. Stay on your toes. Right? The curious investor, got to stay on your toes. Right? It's bobbing and weaving. Even in days when the market is just going back crap crazy, we let it, do its thing, because at some point, somebody's making some money somewhere. Right? Someone getting the bag, as they say. Right, so gotta love that. So again, that's what we look like here, guys. At the 150, getting ready to come up towards 2:00 time frame here. You should have some buy algos to try to kick on at 2:00. It'll be interesting to see how they work this time. Like I say, most of these algos been switched to the sell side, right? So they kind of playing the inverse a little bit, right? So if we don't get a big split, I don't know, maybe some big spinners trying to come in at the 2:00 hour, which I doubt it, because we're doing a low volume day. It's a 3-day weekend. Most of the big money at Wall Street already then shut down their books and they gone for the day. They already on the golf course or on the on their little boats or yachts or whatever. The only people that's in there trying to get these last little scraps of them hedge funds is already underwater, right? They got to work overtime. They got to stay in the sweatshop a little longer. Right? So that's what's causing all this here. They trying to play every little pivot. They doing everything. They didn't mess up the price action. They ain't got no fight, no real true win in this at the end of the day. But it's just making the process longer than drawing it out, making it, again, longer than what it needs to be. And that's just typical how this market is. Again, we ain't even down a full percent right now. We were down close a percent earlier. And it seems like it's a lot, but it's not, and they'll act like this is like the end of the world. Like, dude, y'all ain't even down a full percent. That's just show you how greedy they are. Again, they refuse to take those L's. Right? These people just fighting. They just doing, I don't know. But we didn't talk about that enough, so people don't want to hear that no. But y'all get it. We know what's going on. Right? They refuse to let go. And so if you're not knowing how to trade this market methodical on those pivots, then just to be buying because you just fighting the fact that you don't, feel like you ain't in control anymore. That's just dumb, right? That'd be dumb. You got to have a plan. All right, you got to have an understanding of what's going on when you're trading peak to trough, or you're looking to say, well, I'm trying to set a position for the long term and all that. And like in a day you have a downtrending day, you trying to be anti the value of the trend, and like I said, good luck. Right? Good luck. Because it gets real in the field. So, but that's all I really got, because I ain't got a whole lot besides just letting the charts play out. Most of the things that I want to discuss, I've already handled that. Again, we just know we're up against the clock for the weekend. So we know the Olympics end this Sunday. So in the event that there is any kind of confrontation, that'll be that window. We don't know. So it's not me being really predicting, but it's just saying, there's a lot of things that go on that's also going around, geopolitical, that they might be kind of sitting there, waiting for it to kind of complete or finish in terms of the Olympics, and who knows, right? Or maybe they'll come to a ceasefire. I mean, before it pops off, and that'll be that. So the market will just rally like crazy once it comes out of this 3-day weekend. So of course, in my strategy, I will be a little risky. That's just me though, speaking strictly for myself only. So I will have a 1 up and 1 down scenario in play, close to that of the bell. All right. So if I do a put or a call, putting out, basically just, a little strategy in play to kind of capture any kind of idea what can come out of the markets, Tuesday when people return back, right? Barring whatever may happen over the weekend, if something pops off this weekend, right? Either way, the market's going to be ready to deal with it or not, right? Right. One or the other, right? One or the other. So that's it, guys. I ain't got nothing really else to say. I think I'm gonna probably cut out here in a second, because I think I'm gonna like I say, go down there and get my hit my little favorite vegan restaurant up. Go check out new vegan down there in Howard University today. So
okay, that's what's up.
Nice little vegan meal, man. We worked hard all week, man. We've been grinding. So it's okay to, pay it forward in this case. Go support a black business, and of course, not only that, that food is banging, boy. I'm talking about woo. Boy, they got some good food banging down there. That's what it is, boy. It's that woo, Gina. Woo, Gina. That ain't my mama biscuits, Gina. That ain't my mama biscuits. Biscuits. So, yeah, man. So I think that's probably gonna be my little scenario here. What's it say? 159. So yeah. So at least for the traffic get crazy in DC on a Friday, and people start cutting out them office around and it's 3 day. So, all the federal employees in the around DC area, they already, if a lot of them ain't already took the day off, but they're gonna be looking to hit the door early. So they can go enjoy that little time off. If they, working at the location, a lot of people still work from home anyway. So
right.
But nonetheless, so we'll see how that is on the traffic side. Right. So I'm gonna skirt in now, into inner city area to handle that and probably get back here. What time is it? 2? Probably a little bit after for the market close, depending on the traffic. But nonetheless, we kind of seeing what's going on here. So, those are the parameters. Again, if they got in the news that's going to come out to say that, save the ideal of the back end of the day pump, then of course, like I say, it has to happen. And that's everything that's happening now towards the buyers. They just trying to play the pivot. Yeah, that's a $2 pivot out to 432. That's a match level of support. Again, the algo's doing everything it can to kind of kill the put holders. It's typical, right? It's typical, right? To them, that's playing defense. But ultimately, they ain't really, they just doing, again, they just prolonging what's going to happen, the inevitable, right? And markets are just mandated to do stupid stuff like that because to them, this is them looking like they're winning, right? We're winning. We should be down this month, right? Well, we know the only reason why it's not down that much. So it ain't like it's a constellation like this is organic. It's not. This is just, algo pumping. This is moat money that's already sitting there from the Feds that's sitting there. They got these markets overbought, overbloated, even though we know typical pullback rules are, respective to that of you have a drawdown of 10, 20%, 30% is actually oversold correction. It should be over, but it's not. These markets are still overbought in longer duration time frames than they are on the shorter time frame. Right. But whatever, right? Y'all don't need me to tell you that. But it needs to be said because people, again, are giddy right now. They just hasten to get into the market. They just hasten to jump out there. I don't know. Whatever, right? Again, make it make sense to you, right? That's all I got to say. Right. Be willing to accept the risks and, hopefully you're right. That's all I would say. Hopefully you're right. And that's to where people may be pivoting into the markets thinking this is the moment, whatever. Right? So that's up to the individual, but we're just trying to provide a broader picture, a broader scope. So at least you have some different ways to look at it. All right. So that's it, guys. I ain't got nothing else unless you got some over Chris, man. And outside of that, if I just let my computer run while I dip out, just stay on the chart. But you guys probably could follow this stuff on your own anyway. But yeah, I don't have anything else.
That's about it for me. Combination of everything that's going on, and just stay diligent and keep studying. That's the more important thing.
Right. Again, as the commentary said, it is said fortune favors the wise. It does favor the wise. Right? You got to understand that. And are you properly protecting your portfolio ahead of the Russia/Ukraine tension? Right, that tension is ongoing until it changes. Right, so unless it's going to be a change my mind moment, it is on until it ain't. Right. So Wall Street again, they feeling like the player haters ball right now. They mad. They trying to kill puts. They hate everybody. Now, I hate you. We supposed to be rallying it. Y'all look here, player hater ball. I forgot I even got the pimp name. What was his name? Wonder name. I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you. I hate your gut. Wall Street they call it hate on everybody right now. Hate. They hate me. They don't want the retail money, retail trade to make any money. They live feelings today, boy.
You ain't lying, man.
Coming down. They going out scrapping. But yeah, Kathy Wheels in the corner looking like she's sick. She been getting pummeled. So yeah, man, it's gonna be rough. So we'll get on the grind a little bit. Do something maybe this weekend too. Live to kind of discuss maybe what happened. And of course, if it goes down, we definitely gonna be live. We're gonna hop on, whatever happens, we'll go live. If the fireworks pop off, I hope it doesn't. But if it do, we're gonna be there to, we're gonna be there to cover it, right? Our little aspect of it.
Thanks.
So hopefully everybody getting protected and again, don't go into the weekend overly leveraged in anything. Be balanced if anything. If not, sit on the sideline because we just don't know. No one knows. Washington scrambling right now. They're desperate, right? And so we don't know their political agenda, game, and aim in this is something. Best believe it's always an agenda, though. Right? It ain't so much that they just care out of the goodness of their heart. Like stop. Right? We know these brothers don't think that way, right? I can almost certain that I can know they ain't thinking like that. So they there for an agenda. So Putin right now, like, man, look, bro, you wasting my time, bro. Why you sending all your little Putin up there like, man, are we done yet? Right?
Yeah.
Is you finished or are you done? Right? The Birdman style, right?
Yeah.
Putin like, I'm out of here. Right? So Biden's in there looking like old duck, right? Old sitting duck right now.
Yeah, that's tough, boy. Yeah.
So we'll see what comes from it. So guess that's all I got, guys. We got, like I said, getting ready to come on this 2:00 algo. I guess we'll see if the algo gonna pump at 2:00. They trying to turn it too. They trying. So right at 2:00, you should have a buy algo try to kick in. Either algo gonna kick in, or it might be programmed to sell. Right, either way. But that's typically when you get that little 2:00 push too, which is they got algos programmed. Man, this stuff is crazy. They got this stuff like on a a time clock on the job. They near how ratchet they are. So
right
about 20 seconds here before that. Yeah, yep. So 159, 46, 47. Yeah. So we'll see if they're gonna, let that algo, they probably laid them off today. Like, you just sent them home today. Did you go home? Go home, Bert.
Yeah.
I know you want to work hard out there. That's your hour to go hard, but there it is. So right at 2:00. So as soon as 2:00 hit, here comes the turn. There it is. Let's see if they do anything with him. And most people program to buy at that time too, like some of these banks and fund managers. They try to get behind it, or in front of it and try to spaz into it. When the algo cut on. A lot of that stuff sometimes come off the back of the rest of the reverse repo operations that's coming through the system too. After them auctions are in, some of those banks get that money and they just use it to kind of go right in and pad the market if they can. So right now it's a fight here at that 2:00, whole hour, whole number mark here. So interesting watching this here right at 4:34. This struggle here, and they're gonna try to push it if they can. Again, whatever, right? We get it. Nothing new to watch. There's nothing here to watch, right? They say just go on disperse. Just typical,
right.
Wall Street shenanigans. For the most part. So that's all I got, guys. I ain't got nothing else, guys. I'm gonna get on out here early. I'm gonna cut. Go get me some, some of them old vegan greens and vegan mac and old banana flurry, whatever.
Yeah.
Vegan, and that'll be it for me to I just
trying to go get me something to eat.
Yeah, it's about that hour now, so I'm gonna go and grab it so I can get right. Just kind of see what the best they gonna do, because they gonna try to pull some foolishness if they can, right? These people joke, they desperate, right? They desperate. I like watching Wall Street when they desperate, because it shows you just the true intent and the nature of how they are. Again, good observation. Good. This is good reconnaissance, right? We talked about it last night for reconning the market in real time. So this is a good reconnaissance right now.
Right.
There it is. They got that 2:00 algo. It finally turned it. I couldn't make this stuff up, guys. You've been watching this stuff a lot of years. Just naughty people work, man. Ain't nothing new here. All right, they doing just that. Ain't no, fundamental change for them to be doing it, because they know outflows coming. It's just that they trying to kill theta on put holders, right? As opposed to market rolling over like it should be peacefully. Right. This is them fighting every tooth and nail to try to look like they strong when they ain't. They really ain't. They just greedy. They greedy and they hurt right now. They feeling so. That's fine.
Yeah, they salty.
Yeah, so they'll be all right. They go, lay up on your little yacht, complaining, cry on your little yacht, with your little foreign car. They run up on the curb or something. Maybe I don't know. So,
you'll be all right. You got enough. You got plenty of money.
You know what I'm saying? They can't. They boy, these people. So right now they're gonna have to hold a bag just for the day though. They're holding grocery bags. Yeah. Get them bags off the floor, Wall Street. Let's go. I'll lift these bags real quick on the way out the door. Right? Yeah. Jump on their little, their little Ducati motorcycle, leaving up out of Wall Street. They ain't feeling tonight. They feeling just like they're coming out of Wall Street right now. Got the Cardi boy trying to get up out of inner city New York. It's hard out there, boy.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's it, guys. So I ain't got nothing else, guys. I appreciate you guys, man. Again, look forward to seeing what the rest of the day holds. Keep y'all in the market, guys. You know, it's gonna be crazy out there. You best believe it's gonna be, you know, it ain't over. We still got 2 more hours, and boy, they're gonna pull out all stops. Like I say, they're gonna pull out all stops, right? I already know that the dark pool market is rocking today. They buying the dark pool up to try to stop this market from falling because they're trying to protect their long-term position. That's all they're doing. You know, trying to put, you know, a Band-Aid on a big old gushing, you know, level 3 leak wound. That's all they're doing.
Right.
Eventually it's gonna give. That'll be into that. So that's it, guys. I ain't got nothing else. I'll see y'all on the next one, guys. Peace, power, profit. I might get forced and get it come on late this evening and kind of do a back end, you know, maybe a little quick hours of what we witnessed and what happened and all that. But either way, we'll see. Again, I want to make any promises depending on traffic and all that craziness, but we'll see what comes from that.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Peace. Appreciate you, Oba Chris, as always. Sister Monica that came on, all the family in the bad chat, Oba Ram, Brother Mathis, Brother Brandon, Brother Rich B, Brother I Fella Be Humble. Everybody that came through on the YouTube side of business today, show a little love. Defending Brother Sonny, Oba Sonny in the building, of course. Who did I miss anybody? And Brother Divine, Brother Divine, Oba Divine. And again, anybody that might have been listening that couldn't type, we appreciate your view. Oba Chavez, all right. Oba Chavez came through today from the Monster Warrior Clans. Of course, on the YouTube side, he kind of making moves throughout the day, so he's showing a load over there. Appreciate him as always too. So and everybody else that might have been watching. All right, we appreciate you guys. So that's it, guys. So we'll leave it out of here. We're on vibes, right? Put the vibes out there. Right? The vibes.
All right.
Peace, family. Peace, family.
All right. Peace, power, profit.
Yeah. Ow! Yeah. Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big. Job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. Gotta do it big, that's the only way to live. Gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. Gotta do it big. That's the only way to live. Come on. Yeah, come on.
All right, guys. Have a great one, guys. See you guys back in our respective little areas of interest. So be safe out there, guys. Make sure you're, again, you got your stop losses in play. You're monitoring your positions. If you got anything live, don't be too hasty to jump out the window. And just let's get through the rest of this day and cruise into next week, revived and ready to rock, so to speak, right? So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace, everybody. Peace.